G'day, citizens. Welcome to Inforunners. Execute, joined today by old man hosting himself, Algared.
As usual.
999 episodes. That is insane. We've been here.
Does it make you feel old?
Oh, bloody oath it does. I was saying because I went out to see my doctor yesterday and I told him, yeah, I'm up to episode 999 tomorrow. It's like, that's insane.
I know, it's insane.
Actually,
absolutely insane.
I'm still wearing the Band-Aid from the needle he gave me. I was like, what's this? Yeah. Must have been there far too long. I was only meant to be there for like 10 minutes. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, I had a good day yesterday. How's your week been?
It's been pretty good. I can't complain. Full break.
We are definitely in the eye of the quiet period. We'll have the bash obviously to talk about next week. But knowing they're working on Squadron, they did a patch report that you and I watched just before the show, but it was pretty light. There wasn't a lot in it.
Cricket. It felt like cricket. I know that sounds bad to say, but
yeah, like it's essentially a gutted patch bringing forward some of the stuff, and then next month we're getting the full patch basically. You know, some nice little changes here and there. It almost felt like one of those ghost patch notes, like where it's gone, here's all the shit that's coming. It's not much, but here's what's coming. There was some little nice to haves though in there. When you put weird objects on the cargo elevator, they essentially get a frame now. The flyby sounds are back. So again, just lots of little fixes and stuff like that. Setting things up for future content. I think the only thing I find a bit, I'm surprised they didn't add in some needless game mechanic for the frames. Like you've got to buy the frames before you can apply them or something like that. But I'm glad they didn't. Are you telling me to be quiet?
Yeah, stop. You're giving them ideas.
No, yeah.
I was thinking, gee, he's being a rude bastard. I'm talking and he just talks over me.
And you're muted. Oh, right. Right. Well, we've had that before. I thought you've been a rude bastard all the time, and it turns out I've just got you muted.
Yeah. A lot. But, why are they ignoring what I'm saying? And just keep. Yeah. Helps not to mute yourself.
Yes. But yeah, and I think the only other thing is the regular battalion, the missions are kind of in, but the mission giver's not there. So they've kind of like cut the missions in half to kind of give us something to puff out the patch. But it's a bit light.
I also did like the fact that they're bringing in early missions to kind of enable you to build up that rep before she comes. So and I don't know whether that was.
Yeah. It feels like they're giving half.
There.
Yeah, it feels just like they're just giving half. Like they've like trimmed out as much as they can, type of thing, or left in as much as they can.
My thought is, okay, they've taken everything out of 3.9 to go into 3.10 because that's the big patch. Why not just do 3.9 and just do incremental patches as they go, like. The things they intended to put in the patch. To me, it just seems weird. Hey, that's CRG for you. But I did like the containers. They've got. It does make stacking things like missiles a lot easier. So the ordnance containers will work, and that'll be useful for going down the line for ships, for. When you're rearming and refueling and all that on carriers and other things, you'll be able to see the stock going. So yeah, the new sounds were nice.
Yeah,
were nice.
Well, they're not new. They're old. They're just I think that because they've got more sound people in, they're adding them back in. But yeah. The hit markers were interesting as well. Knowing where you're hitting a hole, hitting a shield, crits and stuff like that. I don't know if you've seen those, but there is a detailed thing on one of the league sites that shows them all. There's actually quite a lot of them. And they show all the different things. So yeah. No, Phoenix. Your name needs a warning. your name. It's so funny. I'm like, whoa, right? Read your name. It kind of freaks me out. I was like, whoa, that thing comes with a warning. Like it's a bit TOS. Anyway, right. Yeah. Now everyone's reading what his name is, right? But you get what, like it's the type of thing I read and go, whoa, like, oh, because that's the type of thing a bot would nuke you for. But anyway, yeah. All right. The question bot is up if you want to get your questions in. Because there's not a lot to talk about today, the only other things we've got to talk about today across the way is the 2 competitions to give away. I will show these up briefly. Oh, I need to turn my camera back on from when we turned it off because we did the tier list show this week. That will be episode 1000. So you guys have got that to look forward to. This is obviously where we were watching the behind the scenes. But the Katak had 89 comments, and Murder at the Disco had 98 comments. And the Raelian was the one that was dropped because it had the most comments. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go through and draw those out in a little bit. We'll spread it out. We'll do one probably halfway through the stream and do one towards the end of the stream. So yeah. You're socially confused. That's why you're confused by his name. It's totally fine. But yeah, so we'll draw those out in a little bit. What the hell is... Oh, I've just realized there's another problem because I had it set for... Hang on, watch this. It's magic. You ready? Let's see if I can fix this. Hang on. Boop, there we go, fixed. I had the zoom turned on for... You know how we're going to zoom in on the drawing thing when we do the tier list? Yeah, that was turned on as well. God, I did not reset everything. I was terrible. Yeah. This is an Aussie thing. What does it mean? This is an Aussie thing. Yeah, to be socially confused. No, I just think that's a man thing. To be socially confused. But anyway. Yeah, so because there was not a lot of questions last week and we ended a little bit early, I thought we might just get in game. And play the game for a bit and talk about some stuff. And I thought we'd specifically do it on the PU. And there is... man, it must be over a year ago now. We got asked to re-review the Vanguard series. So we're planning to possibly do that this weekend. So we thought we might get a head start on that as well. So we might take some of the Vanguards out. What do you think, Algared?
Yep. Well, I do have the Vanguards, but I'm not. Yeah, so in a
PU, you don't have the PU down. No, you don't have to come in. I'll probably have them as loaners anyway. It's fine, and that way you can concentrate on questions or whatever that come in, if you wish. But again, let the questions build up for a little bit. But yeah, we're in the eye of the storm. It's just this is what happens, and this was always going to be the worst one, the one right before Squadron come out, because their heads down, asses up type of thing, concentrated and getting stuff out. Again, Basher next week, as Disco alluded to at the end of the video as well, so that kind of really confirms it for next week. Let's see if I can bring you guys over. Have I got this set up? Looking like I don't. No, I have. Cool, sweet.
All right, so are we using Pigglebot?
We are. Well, he calls it Pigglebutt, but
yeah, he does.
Instead of bot, it's Pigglebutt.
Yes, I did notice that.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Anyway, the other thing that no one's talked about here is they've redone this. By the way, have you noticed? It's got big buttons or little buttons now. If I go back, is that one big? No, it's just this is the big one. To emphasize, this is where you should go, dum-dum. I'm going to load my character in. Review. Load. So this is Chuck. This is the guy I play as. Load. Made him as... It's a standard thing. Skip this. Where to go? Where to go? If we're doing reviews, I kind of need to go to Lawville, don't I? Because of the lighting. Yeah, if you go to Nick's, it's dark as fuck. We learnt that the hard way. And then I had to fly all the way back, which was really annoying. Alright, you have to read chat, Algared, because I cannot read. Oh, wait a second. I could probably, if I do some jiggery. But then you won't be able to see it. Can you bring up chat on your own screen?
Yep.
Because then I can move. Then I can move this up there, but you won't be able to see it.
I've got both Twitch and YouTube chat up.
Oh, you're awesome. You came prepared. Well, that allows me to move them up there, and I can see them too. But you just won't be able to see us anymore. Right. Thank you, Arcane Danger, for the 29-month subscription. Holy shit. Appreciate it, mate.
Yeah. Definitely appreciate it.
A lot of people popping in this morning, but yeah, it is a quiet time. Game-wise. I don't know. There's probably some drama going around, though. There's always some drama going around, but me and you don't tend to do drama, do we?
I try to avoid it. And, you know, like, as much as I hate to say, there probably is drama in CIG.
Mm.
And why do I say that? Very simple. There are 1,000 people who work at CIG.
Yeah, that's it.
And you cannot get 5 people together without getting some drama. So
What's
you get
that
1,000 people together.
Yeah. I was thinking that
An old saying.
How for 3 people to keep a secret, 2 of them have to be dead or something like that. Yeah, it's the old saying.
Killed 2 of them. Yeah. So, yeah, there's bound to be some drama just because there's so many people. I think it's possibly a good thing that in many ways is yes, you are hearing some, but for that many people, it's relatively quiet, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right, well, it looks like I've got all the Vanguards, believe it or not, on the PTUs, so that is good. We go through and have a look at this. There we've got Excelsior, Permafrost, Overdrive, Yiga. What's that? That is size 2. Doesn't say what, there we go. Military B, that's good. That's on par with the one in Spirit, I think. And then we've got some D. Way down the totem pole. Alrighty. Let's go. Oh, she's looking stuck.
If you do have a question, now, if you have a question, do make sure you put the word question in your question, and the bot should pick it up and chuck it into the list. And once we get a few questions built up, we will then go through and answer them.
Now, apparently, Nightbot was added to the list, but it is clearly not working. I'm going to have to send him a message right now.
Nightbot is still coming through.
Yeah. He's away at the moment.
Okay. It'll be fine.
I've got used to it over the last couple of weeks, but that's why we tested for him. So we can help him fix it. All right, what are we doing? Mercenary, I guess. Combat scenario, call to arms, reducing overpopulation. Oh, it's the Copian Orison platform under attack. I don't know any of these. I'll do this one. This is the one I know at the moment.
That's probably the easiest one to do. It doesn't give anything away because you're in PTU.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to the day where they put different images behind the people, so they don't all look like they're talking out of the same room. But obviously, it's not that important.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay, so first thing off the cab of the rack with the Vanguard, there's no buttons, so it needs a pass.
Yep.
This is feeling old
have
already.
we talked about the sneak peek yet? No, we haven't.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Hang on, give me a minute. I do have that. Pete sent it to me earlier. Like he knew we were going to talk about it.
We'll just let X get out of the hangar and into space, and
yeah,
and then he'll pull it up, and we'll have a gander.
Yeah, we'll do. I think I've got it.
Yes, NPCs are all in the same call center. That's what it does feel like.
Yep. They're all
call center, and they're wanting you to sign on to this new fangled-dangled, cheap and easy plan.
Okay, there's something that feels different. It's got they added the little screen for the other stuff like the power and the thrusters and that to the top.
Yep.
Different. Oh, there's another thing they changed too. Remember when you used to put the landing gear up the and then it made a lower out of me and folded the wings back in. I didn't actually have the landing gear up, but the wings were out. So there's definitely some bug there. Where are we going? 80.
Well, I think I have heard him talk about in the past making those states that you've got landing gear plus the ability to have your states in and out.
Sorry.
I've got to admit, I always think that big gun on the nose looks dicky.
I think the guns on the nose look dicky.
Yeah, I know you think the little guns look dicky. I think the great big thing on the underneath looks dicky, but
I just think, well, why can't you integrate that big one somehow into the nose, like so it's more up and in, and then take those 4 guns and just put like one on top of each engine and one below each engine. You see what I mean? Because there's space there for that. See, one below, one above on either side, and just spread it out a little bit. Like it just, why did you need all this custom shit that just like that? I'm sorry, but that is clearly made by Chris. That choice was a Chris Roberts choice. I'd bet money on it.
I think it was, going for the feel of both World War II,
Oh yeah, I know why it was
like the Mosquito, the BF-110, the Black Widow.
Yeah,
all those.
I know why. I know why it was done. Do you agree with that choice? Like, does this ship need all these bespoke weapons? And you got to remember that was before we had all the other stuff. So they kind of went out and did all that extra shit. Now it's not so bad in hindsight, but at the time it was a pain in the butt.
I liked it. I like the feel. Now, is the problem that the guns are too small in terms of with the feature creep that's gone in with the fact that so many ships have these upsized guns? Yeah, I think it is.
Well, that every time you mention small guns, I instantly start thinking about the turret too on this thing.
And so
it's so weird compared to other ships you and I have taken out too, like we were talking about the Hurricane, don't we? So
yeah, and you can understand like in this why you'd put that great big gun underneath, because it is, without that, the larger gun, it is significantly under armed. So I get it, but I like the feel of those 4 little nose guns. But on those World War II fighters, they were deadly, but on this they're not as deadly. At least that's my perception. And then you've got the problem of the turret. The man turret is woefully inadequate for a player.
Yeah.
You've got less firepower than the turret and the pilot, so you just become
superfluous. That feels so weird. They're just all so like, you know how you used to like all these bullets? Like this just doesn't have that feel at all. I don't know, it might just be the Harbinger build, but it feels a bit weird. Okay.
Did look like it was giving you that jolt.
I had dead acceleration. Like I had the finger to the power to the finger to the, what do you call it? My finger right down, but it wasn't going anywhere. It's a bug I've noticed before too. It just doesn't pick up your pressing W.
Sometimes you got to double tap it. You know,
yeah, I did.
Not doing. Take off, do it again.
Exactly what I had to do. Oh, Carter, this almost feels unfair. Wait, I've only got 1 point in my weapons. Are you serious? I can't go more than 1 point. Are you serious? What? That seems broken. Ooh, new markers. See how it goes, white and red and blue. Bit of lag there. And it makes these funky noises. Are you hearing the... Can you hear the noises, Algared? Have you muted yourself again, Algared, and I'm talking to myself?
I had muted myself again. Yeah. I coughed and...
Yeah. Are you hearing the sounds?
I am hearing the sound, the game sound.
Yeah, chunk, chunk,
a little bit quiet because...
Yeah, well, you didn't want it to be loud.
Goes because then it's too loud and you can't hear each other's speech.
So. There are distinct sounds when it does different things. It feels really arcadey. Because it's just a cutter, I'm not even accelerating. I'm just letting him fly around me and I shoot him. Hearing a bit of those flyby sounds too, I think.
Yep. Yeah, they have worked on the fly. As I said, they have worked on some of the flyby sounds. For a lot of ships, not in all ships, but they'll roll them out slowly to everything. And those types of things do add to the game. They just add to the feel.
Very blows.
All targets neutralized. Catch your breath. The next one is on its way.
Next one's on my way.
That one could have been nasty if you had been in a little light fighter and that big hulk of wreckage hit you.
Yeah.
Would have made a mess of you.
Well, he doesn't have many weapons, this one. It's kind of strange.
Standard Vanguard?
What's a Harbinger? I'm wondering if it's just the weapon loadout combined. The prices.
Harbinger is the torpedo variant, isn't it?
Yes. Right. Which I'm probably not going to be able to test out. Oh, I believe there's a freelancer after this Pisces, so maybe I can test it on that. Mm-hmm. If it gets far enough away, that is. That's the other thing I've always found weird. Like, you can't use missiles when you're too close. It just seems really weird to me.
And the main thing with the missiles on the Harbinger is they are on the turret, if I recall correctly.
No, they're standard missiles. It's like a missile turret on the Harbinger. They're like you know the Delta, how it's got the dumbfiring missiles? Yep. It's a dumbfiring missile turret from memory. I could be wrong.
Ah, you're kidding me.
Yeah, see, there you go. There you go. Dumbfiring missiles either side.
Ah. That is sad. I thought it was slightly bigger because it had the reload racks as well, or at least at one point it used to have the reload racks in the...
No, I think it's got a fixed amount and then you're done. So I think it does like... This only looks like 3 missiles and you're done. And then, as I said, dumbfire is useless. But yeah, again, you just change. You just change them back to normal guns.
This makes it even more of a disgusting ship for a co-pilot.
Yeah. But 6 dumbfire missiles. Don't fuck it up. You're probably be firing torpedoes mainly on this one though, so this one's a little different.
Yep.
Oh, it's a Raelian. That's not a freelancer. They changed it. And it's flying. Notice how it's not flying vertically, it's flying sideways.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still in his flight mode.
Yeah, I'm in missile mode. Here we go. No, that's an actual missile. I want torpedoes. How do we get into what?
You'll need to go into your weapons and cycle. They're a bit of a bugger.
Oh yeah, so this is too convoluted. I just want to. I'm scrolling the mouse wheel, but it's not changing. That's what you'd do, wouldn't you? You'd go into missile mode and just go scroll, and now you're into. Yep. That makes logical sense to me, but no, not the case. Guess I'll just kill it with a gun until I figure out what. What a lot of circling this thing.
Yep.
Flying more like a Cyan, or what I'd expect a Cyan to fly like.
But given the Raelian does come from the not the Raelian, the Reliant comes from the same stock.
Yes.
It is MISC. It's got that form and that style because it was miscopying a lot of the Xi'an flight modes and stuff. You can see the kind of the Xi'an engine style on the engines of the Reliant. So it's, having it fly like a Xi'an ship makes sense. So
how do you? Oh, arm missile cycle forward. It is scroll wheel. It just doesn't. It's just not changing. Okay, so how the hell do you fire the torpedoes in this thing? Good question.
I would think you could probably go down to the rack and then actually click on the MFD.
Are you serious? It's got to be fired by the other person. Are you serious? That'll be so retarded.
Well, I did think they were on the turret.
The door. That's not a MFD. I thought it was an MFD, but it's not.
That's your missile rack.
The last time I fired them, they were just a part of the
turret.
missile thing. Yeah, that's a turret, but the turret's.
Does he also have the missile firing?
I doubt it. We'll see.
Because I thought those racks on the side fed up to reload the turret.
Aegis combat assist activated. Systems green.
Can't even fire. Wait, is it because it's not powered on or something stupid?
Powered on yet?
Where the?
Well, you're powered on because you got your stuff.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Where's the? There's no missile mode. Wow, talk about convoluted. Okay, is someone in chat like screaming at us, going, "You gotta go here!"
No.
Right, everyone else is just as confused as us.
Saying left click.
I'm left clicking, Parker. Nothing's happening, bro.
Nothing. But that's it. Very quiet.
That's scanning mode. That's gun mode.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So this turret doesn't work, or it doesn't work on the Vanguard. There's no power on option because that'd be on that side because there's those ones over there. Yeah. Oh, power off. There it is. And then power on. No firing. Is it something like it?
If it's missiles, you'd have to have a target.
Technically correct. Technically correct.
Just wondering. Won't fire without a target.
I was just wondering if it was power management or something. Yeah, but still, it's just weird that I can't. Nowhere there could I access the torpedoes. So yeah, I might have to do some research into that. Right. Might take this back and swap it over for another one. But before we do that, let's have a look at the get back to the game.
Yeah, we already tried the mouse wheel control for the pilot
Yeah.
in the missile control.
So this is
it
the
wasn't
sneak.
cycling through.
Yeah. So this is the sneak peek for the Basher. That looks very Cutlass to me. Very Cutlass.
Yep, it looks very Drake. I do like the green. I do like the green text. It's very retro computer monitor feel.
But specifically, it looks like it's the one taken directly out of the Cutlass, which is why I said Cutlass. I didn't say Drake. So it's just interesting. Rest harbor. Yeah. I'm actually starting to wonder now if it's a Shiv variant. If it's not the Mustang one. It's just a different Shiv.
Agritech TV says, "Watch, it'll be a Cuddy Blue variant." Anything's possible.
Yeah, it could totally be. But the other thing, if it is the thing we saw out of that reflection from last week, well, that was a Cuddy cockpit. You know, so I am, put it this way, I am severely lowering my expectations. They'll be on the floor, and that way they can only go up.
I always take the view that, you know, if you go in expecting the world, it doesn't matter how good it is.
Well,
you know, unless it absolutely meets at every point you're expecting.
Algared, I think you should be going in expecting that it's a good ship. I don't think that's a very low expectations. It's a low bar to meet.
Well, hopefully, look, a ship that works, is bugless. Well, does what it's supposed to. Is, you know, if it was stuff you were just buying with in-game assets, yeah, no problem. But when you're paying real cash, then I think, you know, the ships do need to be good in terms of
to get
functioning properly.
Get you to part with them, yes, with part with your money, especially in this economy.
While you're doing that, let's have a look at our first question. Our first question was from Rabbit.
Well, I didn't really want to do the questions, Algared, because there's not going to be a lot of them. I want to do those later. I thought I made that clear.
Yeah, but I just thought I'd chuck them in every so often.
All right, go ahead.
And who knows, it may encourage more questions to come. Don't forget, add a question, because I've got 5 questions, and 2 of them are from Rabbit, and 2 of them from That's an Insult. So, you know, come on, help us out. Now, if I do recall correctly as well, in the Vanguard, that middle section is your life pod, except in the torpedo.
No,
except in the Harbinger.
No, the whole pod comes out, so the torpedoes go as well. Yep.
So the Harbinger still has the escape pod. Okay. I know they
all have this.
Valkyrie doesn't.
See the door on the bottom?
Yeah.
That's where the pod comes out, and so basically everything in that central location just comes out.
That's right. That's right. It's a but it is all. I do remember it is the Valkyrie, but doesn't, because they had to change the interior to actually suit the seats. So that's a one Vanguard that does not have the
Hoplite. You mean, not the Valkyrie, but yeah, you're mixing your ships up again.
I am mixing my ships up. That's the Hoplite is the one that does not have the escape pod. I thought there was another one, but no, you're correct. Because I when you say it, I remember thinking, drop your escape pod, and then sit there in your pod with your missile turret, acting like a kind of a sentry drone or something like that. So, you know,
Alrighty. I don't know.
Yep.
I've
been on Evercrack.
It's not
Absolutely.
It's not a great sneak peek image, is it? Like, I'll go back to this for a minute. It's not that great because what's there to talk about?
Well, it was a joystick.
Yeah, but it's out of focus. It's clearly taken in the NIC system just because of the blue in the background.
Yeah.
But what can you grab out of that? It doesn't show you anything new. Where if it was the exterior of the ship,
Well,
like last week, you could see some new things on it. Doesn't show anything new.
You can see the ship's own image in kind of that.
Yeah, but again,
kind of the
that's
layout of the ship, but it is blurry. But yeah,
I don't know. I guess,
clearly they're using it.
I guess we'll see it. But again, from what I have seen, it looks like it's the cockpit of a Cutlass with basically it looks like almost like a heavy fighter from Grey or something like that. Is kind of what I'm expecting. But we'll see.
No, I thought the silhouette kind of gave at least an idea of what the ship will look like. Rabbit as well, but it is a bit blurry. It'd be nice if that was more crystal clear. It'd give a lot more away. So which one have we got this time?
This is just the Warden, so the standard one. I thought I'd go to something
standard, ordinary.
Yeah, so this is the one that has just literally a long life pod type of thing. So you can see that module there gets swapped out for nothing. Some avionics basically. And then if I got on, well, I don't need to get on the turret. I can just do it in the camera view, but this will have normal guns on the turret. Instead of missiles. So yeah, there you go. And I think it's exactly the same guns on the nose. They look identical.
Looks exactly the same.
Look. Yep. Exactly the same. So I don't even really need to take this one out, to be honest with you.
What are the guns on that turret? Just to refresh my memory, they look like size 1s or 2s.
They're size 2s from my memory, but we'll have a as I swap over to the next.
Look in your Moby glass.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm going to do once I store it. I can't do that while it's out. But I can look at the Harbinger one.
Yeah.
Inferior. That's an interesting choice.
Prior to using an superior weapon on that ship.
I do know there's a couple of different ones of the actual custom nose gun ones, but I'm not sure. There's a Harbinger, Sentinel, Warden, or going into vehicles. We'll look at the Harbinger for a sec. Weapons. So it's a deadbolt size 5 cannon. Right, and then these are ballistic CSVA size 2s. And I do know there's a couple of different ones you can get for the noses. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a ballistic, a laser, and something else. There's like, I think the last one's a shotgun, like a short range one.
Yeah. Lots of damage, but at short range. But yeah, at least that's what they used to say.
Yeah. I should have had a look at. I didn't really need to pull that out. Where's the hoplite? Did they even give us the hoplite? Yes, they did. All right, let's have a quick look at that. Hoplite. Different missiles. PSVR repeater. Oh, there's some of the other. Yeah, there's some of the others off the other one. So this must be the lasers.
Yep. That's got ballistic repeaters.
And that's a laser cannon. That's a ballistic cannon.
Yep.
What's this?
The laser repeaters.
Oh, there you go. M4A special has been specially retooled. So that's the laser. So the M is the laser.
Yep.
Okay, so I don't know which one takes the laser. Just have a quick look. Because I remember for the longest time, yeah, here we go. See, this one's got a Hurston Dynamics one.
Yeah.
Hurston
Dynamics laser. Ooh, I love the Hurston Dynamics. Size 5.
But I remember for the longest time they were just like what I think it was a Rhino or a Gallery or whatever they're called. But basically the stock standard gun that you see on most ships for the longest time. So yeah. So the Sentinel's the only other one that we want to take out, but to be honest, they're not that different. So the issues are going to be universal. We're going to have to go over the outside of it, Algared, because it also needs, from memory, it had a lot of redundant components too. If you remember from back when we looked at it last.
Have redundancy, and when they did the shield rework, it did lose some because they increased, from memory, they increased the shield size, and that meant they got rid of the redundancy of extra shields.
Yeah.
So I think if you were to have a look at the Mobi-Glass and just look at the components, you could actually see how many components are there. But also when you do go in the Vanguard, you can see areas where those redundant components were supposed to go. So under the stairs there was places and all that type of stuff.
It does fly better than some of the other heavy fighters too. It doesn't have the weight, and I'm seeing some people in chat saying it does fly faster. So that was with what I was feeling and seeing as well. So yeah, but yeah, it's just that gun placement. But that said, though, you know, if you can focus all your fire onto the nose of this thing, you're probably going to kill the pilot and the guns. So that's a big, and I guess it's not a terrible place to have a weak point.
Focus on the nose where the guns are, and you might kill the pilot, or you might knock out the guns. Either way.
So I don't know. It just feels weird to shoot everything from that place, but I don't know. Maybe it sounds like it's a me problem. Yeah.
Yes, the next episode is our 1000th.
Yeah. That'll be a tier list episode. I recorded it earlier on in the week with Paul and Space. Algared wasn't able to make it, as were some other people. Like Grim had some he had an unfortunate event, but I'll let him talk about that on his stream if he wishes to do so. But he wasn't able to make it because he was traveling. But our thoughts go out to him, and he's feeling better about what happened. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I feel sorry when things like that happen, but it's not my place to say what happened. It was a life event. Let's just put it that way.
But yes, anyway. We are a millennium. It's our millennium episode. Our the Falcon.
Yep. So yeah, well, it goes for almost 3 hours. I think it was 2 hours and 45 minutes, and that was just with the three of us. So it was pretty long.
It is a problem with the tier list episodes.
They're getting longer and longer. I've now cut them into 2, and they're still damn long.
And
I get growled at.
The longer they go.
Well, I also get growled at when I try to shorten them in any way, or don't let people speak, or whatever.
Yeah. No, I think in a sense the tier list, it's great having all the people, but then when we have everyone, which is a great chance for us to get together and just nag and catch up.
Yeah.
The problem is then we have a 6-hour video, or when we're doing the actual video, we're saying very little. You have less people. We'll not go at the same time, but people will talk more. So it's a catch-22. It never feels the way we want.
Robert, is there a picture out you're alluding to? I haven't seen a picture about it, Robert.
Nightbot. Yeah, I haven't seen that picture. The only thing I've seen is the leak, not the leak, the sneak peek.
Another another thing. Sorry, you just keep talking over me. I'm starting to get shitted. The night this came out as well. The next creature that's coming is the one that we never expected it to be, which was it's the space whale.
The space whale tours are going to be awesome.
Yeah, well, everyone was hoping it was like the crab or the Yeti thing, and no, it's just the space whale. Okay.
But you can see them.
They did say that this thing was going to be really big and you could land on it though, and
they did talk about that and harvest stuff off the top.
Yeah. So.
And yeah, I do remember them saying, you land on it, you harvest stuff, but you've got to make sure you get off before it dives too deep into the depths of the planet. Otherwise, you.
Okay, so hang on, someone's linked me a link here. I'm gonna have to go look at it.
Yeah.
Which means I'm gonna go back to this screen because I can't open it in case it's TOS. So look. Whatever picture you've linked just doesn't work. It's a dead link. I'll have a look at the Star System Reddit myself and see if I can find anything. Nope. No. Yeah, can you link it to me on Discord like a normal person, please, right? That'd be great.
If you send it directly to X, then he can have a look. But if you try and send it through our bot, the bot will...
No.
Yeah.
It's all fine, right? But whatever he sent, the link is dead.
Yep.
So, yeah. Well, I know Riot's capable of doing things, so I'd just rather if you send it via Discord, if you would, please.
Anyway.
Hang on. Here's another one. I'm trying to grab it because people are trying to link it to us. Let me try this one. Oh, it's a video. Oh, yeah, I remember this. Holy shit! Yeah, this is a flashback and a half.
And that one does look like that.
Yeah, hang on, Algared. Let's bring him with us. So this is from the leaked video, the same one that all the others have come from, but I forgot about this one. So it's this thing. Not that one.
Not that one.
Not that one. But this one. Ah. Again, they're going to leave this to last because we keep guessing it's that one. That's literally what's going to happen.
But when you see that sneak peek this week, the hull shape certainly is telling. It tells you it's not.
It's got fairly big engines on it too. Like if I go back to it, again, it is a bit blurry.
It is blurry, but you can see they're not wings; they're engine cells rather than.
Yeah, so I'd say it's that one.
Agree with that. Based on those three, if it's a Graith mothership,
wait, hang on. Right, saying it's after that one. Hang on. All right, so apparently we didn't watch it through to the right.
Okay.
All right, this is probably. We'll see again. I don't have the screen up. When I have this screen up, I can't see chat. So hang on. Just watch it all the way through. Though it's got this annoying spinny bar. That's the Aurora thing we've talked about before.
Yep.
And it's after the Aurora, and then it ends. You're on drugs, sir. Get off the drugs.
He's been on too much Evercrack.
Yeah, he's smoking something, that's for sure. Can't link shit.
No, you don't smoke Evercrack.
All right,
he's smoking Evercrack. That's why he's got a problem.
All right, he sent another link, so let's have a look at this. All right. So this is exactly the same one. Oh, it's got sound though this time. Fancy. It's after the Aurora. After the Aurora, after the Aurora, after Aurora, after...
Nah. Yeah.
Bro, get off the drugs. Drugs are bad. Drugs will rot your brain, sir.
I couldn't see it.
He said,
The only one I can see is number one.
He said, smoking the crack. What are you talking about? You're the one smoking the crack. As you said, Algared can smoke crack. Yeah, but Algared clearly doesn't rot at his brain when he smokes crack. I would say it's this one. Wouldn't you, Algared? We only get to see it from behind, but that
one?
Yeah.
That one, the engine, the cells.
Yeah, line up.
That image, that image in the sneak peek really does say it's that. And you get that, even that shape, that general shape, you can see that in the in that sneak peek. Now, just looking at that image there, that top does look like those slots going on the top do look a bit like Van Duel-ish.
Again, being from behind, it is harder to tell, but I would say it's got, because I'm looking here. I'm looking for the part. So I don't have the sneak peek on me at the moment from last week, but the one where it had the chains and stuff looks like it was probably from here, or you know, up here around the engines. It's still hard to tell what it's made up of. This almost looks like a Gladius wing to me.
Yep.
So it is another. It's just another Squadron 42 asset flipped. But I don't know what ships it's made up of, because I'm going to be honest with you, and you'd have to agree with me. Out of the ships, that is the one we've seen the least of, because we've only ever seen it from behind.
We've definitely seen less of that ship.
And the reason I forgot about it is this is the only footage of it, and it is only from behind. That's why I've completely forgotten about it.
Now,
I'm glad you guys found it though.
On those wings, those kind of grey things on the top, could that mean? Wouldn't be a Scythe wing, would it? I'm just trying to think of other.
No, like again, yeah, I know you're trying to, but it's really obvious if you look at the shape. It's very clearly.
Yeah, it's not curved enough.
It's a Gladius wing. It's just really clearly Gladius.
Gladius wing with.
You got to remember, think of Squadron 42 assets. There's no real Vandal stuff in Squadron, not in that way. I think down the road, if they would build more Grey's Market ships, absolutely. But at the moment,
just filled with lots of grey balls on the top.
Yeah. I think it was on my other computer. Anyway. I've got the entire video of that somewhere. That's what I was having a quick look to see if I could find. But as I said, I think it's on my other PC. Anyway. Thanks for linking that through. But please, right, get off the drugs. You know, it's not good for your health. Your mental faculties really going downhill. Your well wishes and your you know, you being around for a while to laugh at is really important to us here at the Inforunners. Right.
Yep.
Do you want to do a question from Rabbit then that you read before?
I do want to do a question from Rabbit. Give us a change the topic maybe a little bit.
Yep.
So Rabbit says, do you think an area effect tractor beam is possible in the future, like picking up multiple SCU boxes at once and snapping them together along with the other multi-tools, as long as it's within the weight limit?
It was always meant to be like that, where it makes a bubble. I think what it'll be is it'll just be, you know, the what do they call it? The shields. You know how it had that surface thing that they talked about, the tech for the shields? They'll make it so it somehow, when it's hit with one, if another one's hitting it, they can share the power and stuff. I think that's how I would do it if I was going to code it. Make it so.
Yep.
Started itching my beard, and now it's itchy under my beard.
Yeah, that's not quite the question that's being asked. The question is, do we expect to see a method where the tractor beam?
And if you listen to what I was alluding to, remember how they talked about how they were in bubbles, and the more that you added to that they did, and and if you think back to it, they also talked about it literally, you could have different size bubbles. You remember that? That's what I was alluding to.
when they
So,
were doing.
so I kind of went off on a tangent and I started talking about how I do it with the shields. So I'm not sure if it's going to do that anymore. It was where I was getting to.
Yeah.
It really depends how they implement it.
Now, if they do the bubble and the shield, whatever's in the bubble could be lifted, they could do it that way. I could see an easier way would just be put stuff on pallets and you lift the pallet.
It also would,
which is kind of like our boxes.
Yeah, but it also removes a lot of choices. I would just have it so you can have different modes, like a normal, like a narrow beam tractor beam mode and a wide tractor beam mode. And the wide tractor beam mode is essentially like the bubble mode. And so basically it maybe shortens the range, but makes it so you can grab things in an area.
Everything that's in that bubble
could
be.
So a really cool example is, say you've got your in your hangar, you've got your couch area and your TV laid out exactly how you like it, but you want to move it. So you kind of just go bang and you kind of hit it.
Yeah.
You can pick up
it from there to there. Yeah.
Pick up the entire room and then move it down to the corner or whatever, and then put it back down, and nothing's really been moved, or out of order. So yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be a nice. It'd be a nice quality of life improvement for things like that.
Man, we've got some aggravated people in chat. They're saying I've got cicadas in my beard, but we don't even have cicadas in Australia. So, man, I've done some. I've not here. We don't. Not where I live. Biggest thing we get down here is like a grasshopper. Too cold for cicadas down here.
Grasshopper.
And do people actually do people get cicadas in their beards? Like, man, the only thing I get in my beard is like barbecue sauce. You know, that's the extent of mine.
Yep.
But it's not fleas. It's just because I started scratching my beard, and beards come off after the show. Don't worry, I'll get it off.
No, beards when they get a certain length.
Yeah,
they start scratching.
Yeah, it's the hairs.
Doesn't stop.
Yeah, it's the hairs that turn around. But I've been meaning to have a shave for a bit.
And whenever I get like that, that's when I go, it just gets so frustrating. You just go.
Yeah, and then someone's linked the shiv. That's not the thing, that's the shiv. And all these people linking half images to me.
Well, someone did ask earlier, I don't think they put it as a question, but they said, could it be a shiv variant?
Well, that was my initial impression, right? But you look at the one in the thing, and it's clearly got bigger engines than the shiv. It's a different, a different layout. But again, like we watched in that little video there, if they've already kind of pre-made something, it's more like, isn't it more likely to be something they've pre-made than new? And I've got the whole, when the Grays Market stuff came along, you and I talked about it, it just does feel like a flipping of assets. What are some ships that we've got half done? Well, they're done for Squadron. Let's just do their interiors and sell them. And that's kind of what they did with the Shiv. Like, it's just, the only thing that was really new there was it needed a different back. And let's be honest, it's basically a box, isn't it? It's not a different ramp. It's not a different cockpit. It's just that cargo area that was different. And there's not a lot in there. It's just modular pieces. So it's pretty easy to do. And then from what we saw, if the reflection is correct, this one also has a cutlass cockpit. We've also got the image there that shows the cockpit itself, and it's very cutlass, let's be honest. We also had the one at the roof that confirmed it was a cutlass roof, and then it's just whatever's in that back area. Now, I don't know if it even has a back area, because when we were, look, hang on, let me bring this back up. Is when we're in this, what I was trying to look at here is this an entry point, right? But you don't.
It looks like a ramp, doesn't it?
Yeah, that was my thought, right? Is that how you get into this thing? But honestly, be honest with yourself, Algared. You never see the other side of this ship. It could be, it could literally just be a heavy fighter ladder, and you climb in, right? So we are now officially in enough rope to hang yourself territory.
Yeah, and could they do both? And they could. You'll remember the old Cutlass.
Oh yeah, they could definitely do both.
You know, where you could actually climb up the ladder and get in the cockpit. You could climb up the ladder onto the wing and get in the side, or you could go to the back. There were so many entrances to the old Cutlass. it was nice back in the day. I've got to admit, I did like the old Cutlass in some ways, just because of the multiple ways you could get in. But could they have done that with this? Yeah.
That's
but-
interesting. I do tend to agree with that statement. Rabbit, hang on, someone's messaging me. I have to go turn my phone off. Looks like the center of the Vanguard just stripped down. Yeah, it does actually. Now he mentions it. That ramp at the back does very. So I'm wondering if the center of it is the Vanguard body. Gladius wing. You see where I'm going? I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Just gotta turn my phone off. Keep beeping.
Gladius body, Gladius wing. Oh, so Vanguard body, Gladius wings, Cutlass front. That would seem to be a fair assumption. So yeah. So that would be that one. I'll go down to Rabbit's last question. Well, pull that up. Next question.
Alright.
So while we're talking about this ship,
Rabbit
had a question that I'm going to pull to front because it's relevant.
Right.
He says, "Do we? Where'd it go? I've lost it.
Oh, it was really important, but I can't find it. Is that what you're saying?
Do you expect to see more? I can see it on the chat, just can't see it in our list.
Yeah.
It says, do you expect to see more kit bashing manufacturers? Gray's market could be just for low tech one.
I think they're just look. Yes, I think now they've committed to them. Eventually, yes. But I think at the time when they did this, it was just an easy way to make some chips out of nowhere, so to speak. They were reusing assets they'd used. And we know they wanted to do jalopy stuff, so it just kind of allows them to do that.
Which current manufacturer do you think would be the ideal choice? I've got one in mind. To me, it's
what do you mean?
Obvious, but
what do you mean?
Well, if you were going to have another manufacturer doing kit bashes.
When I talk about kit bashes, I think that needs to be a Gray's exclusive thing. That's their thing.
The only other manufacturer I could see doing it would be Asperia, because they get the old stuff, they put it together, they find the blueprints, they rebuild the ships, they go the old ships. So getting old ships and
I don't think it's a good choice actually, because you got they're trying to be authentic replicas. Jalopy is not authentic. Yeah. If you think about how a manufacturer works, they kind of tend to work to a standard. And their whole thing is about doing replicas. Well, think about it from you do a lot of miniatures and stuff. Can you imagine if Warhammer all of a sudden started doing kit? Well, probably they do, but you know what I mean. Like one of your, I know you collect a lot of miniatures. You start thinking about them doing official kit bashes and stuff. It'd be like a no.
Yeah. I suppose it'd be a bit like, I do kit bashes and the figures all the time, but it'd be a difference. The difference would be using. This unit is X unit, but it's totally the uniforms for their historical unit are totally wrong, but still claiming it's Gordon Highlanders with no kill. That's just doesn't work. So yeah, I could see that, but
yeah.
That's
So
the only company I could think of.
So this video, I think, has confirmed that the next ship is going to be the Aurora one, and the last one is going to be the Mustang one. Because we keep saying the Mustang one, so therefore they're deliberately going to release it last. I think it's really obvious.
It's the popular one.
Yeah. And again, I almost think like what they're going there is light, medium, heavy fighter. That's the feeling I'm getting. I could be wrong. But this feels like a heavy fighter, especially if it's on a Vanguard body. The ship seemed more like a Cutlass, you know what I mean? Like, I know it still attacks, but it's like a cargo tilted variant of a ship. So like a Cutlass, right? And then this does feel a bit more like a heavy fighter. And then you've got the Mustang and the Aurora. Well, the Aurora, I think, would probably be the light fighter, and the Mustang one's probably the medium fighter. And you got to remember, it's a Mustang crossed with a Hornet, which takes it into the medium territory in my book. But
yeah, no, I'd agree with that assumption that this would be a heavy fighter, especially if it is a Vanguard body.
Yeah,
because Vanguard, yeah.
So heavy, light, medium in that
And that kind
order.
of fits.
Yeah.
That kind of fits because the medium is usually the sweet spot where people go, and that.
I'd also expect this to come with a full body kit like the Shiv came with later. I think they've probably pre-done those for the rest of these, so you'll see that come along with that, and the same thing with the Aurora and the Mustang ones when they eventually drop. And I'm actually surprised it's taken this long to bring out a second one, because I honestly thought it would have been quicker. I'm wondering if we're going to get another one this year. They did say it was shelved for other reasons. So if this was shelved, how long is it going to take to get the last two? That's kind of where my brain's at now. How long are we waiting for the last two? Yeah. And when I say last two, I mean pre-made last two. And is it just going to be a manufacturer that only ever has these 4 ships, or are they going to? I would hope to think that they're going to go back into their and create more. Because it does feel like a money grab if they don't. To be honest, it you know what I mean? To only have 4 ships and not make any more new ones, to not have that intent would feel a bit cheap. But yeah. I don't think the Shiv is the heavy fighter. And again, you guys can. There's only one person that said that in chat. But Dolwiz, I don't think it is, because much like the Cutlass is not a heavy fighter, right? It's a utilitarian attack craft. It mainly focuses on cargo, and I would say the Shiv is an upgun Cutlass. In fact, if you look at the price, it's literally like they took the Cutlass Black and the Hurricane and went, what's exactly halfway in the middle? And that's how they priced it. So it's like a Cutlass and a Hurricane had a baby, right? But it's still got quite a large cargo bay. And most fighters, like there's a special module for the Hornet, and it only carries 2 SCU. So most fighters have a very small SCU amount. So I would say it's just that's a really good example. So Rabbit's response is Cuddy is a medium freight.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say it's a medium freight light or halfway.
As Dolwiz and Spike said, that the Shiv is sold as a heavy fighter.
Well, let me go.
That's going on.
Well, I'm gonna go have a look. Yep, let's have a look.
The Matrix of Lies is.
I'm not looking at the Matrix of fucking Lies.
You're going to the market itself. Yep.
Yeah. Star Citizen Wiki. Are we actually sharing this? No, I'm not sharing this. I need to bring everyone across. Shiv. It actually does say heavy fighter. Holy fuck. Wow. I do not agree with that statement, but okay, sure. I don't agree with that statement. It has guns of a heavy fighter, I'll give you that.
I tend to think it's a Cutlass.
Yeah, but how many heavy fighters have 32 SCU? We have dedicated cargo ships that have less than 32 SCU.
Yep.
I'm confused.
Well, I don't know why you're confused, X. You know that CIG don't follow their own rules.
Oh, this is true. It technically is like it. I can see where it's coming from because of the turret is off the Hurricane, right? I can see that, but I don't think it's. God, man, because here's the other thing. That's a cheap heavy fighter. That's cheap.
Fighter. Yeah.
So it's a glass cannon heavy fighter then, if you want to look at it that way. But it also, I wouldn't classify it as that. That's just me. It's an upped gun cargo ship, so it's halfway between a Cutlass and a Hurricane. So, I would call it.
Question from Just Right. How many people use it for combat?
That's true.
Cargo?
That's true. It's probably more used for combat.
So yeah.
But
I'll be honest, I don't use it.
But it does fall into that more of original pitch role of the Cutlass. You remember how they had to split it with the Buccaneer?
Yep.
Doesn't that feel more like that original pitch? A combat-based cargo ship? So technically it falls into the role of heavy fighter, but it walks the line. It's a hybrid. I think we can.
I would.
Would everyone agree that it's a hybrid? It technically can be classed as a heavy fighter, but if it was one more tick on the clock, it would literally be a cargo ship too. It literally walks the line. And we've seen this before where you get certain ships like the Stinger is one step off stepping into the Paladin and the Redeemer. You know what I mean? Like the guns on it are so high up and it's so tanked, but it's only one person. You know what I mean? And then you go down the other end on heavy fighters, and then you get ones that almost start to act like medium fighters. And I believe someone said that was one of the Guardians is a bit like that. It almost becomes a medium fighter. So yeah. So instead of going towards the light fighters, this one's clearly going towards cargo. But anyway.
Do I sell? Not really. I'm not really worried about them selling more heavy fighters from one manufacturer. I think it's picking up the idea. Certainly that one, I think, picks up that idea of that original Cutlass marketing. And you might remember this better than I do, but my thought was the Cutlass was a heavy fighter with some cargo capacity. Was the way they kind of originally sold it.
Yeah, but I think as times change, it's definitely gone more towards the cargo side.
And they moved it. They certainly moved it more towards the cargo because that's why they did. That's why they did the big split, because they made it when they brought in the flight model. They said we've made the Cutlass fly like a cargo ship, and it wallowed like a fat whale.
Okay, I've got another theory I've got to run past you, right? Mm-hmm. Knowing that they redid the Aurora, what if they've removed this Aurora completely, right? And then one of these is the medium and one of these is the light.
Yeah.
Because again, this is the old Aurora. I'd almost expect that they'd want to. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I could be completely wrong there. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. But
it would certainly enable them to. We're not selling the Aurora, but hey, we're still using the Aurora assets on new ships.
Yeah.
And you got to admit that does look cool.
Yeah.
It's for some. It's an ugly duckling, and I don't know if it's just because I like the old Aurora look, but that has an appeal. Yeah.
Well, again, it doesn't look that like if I play the video a bit more, it actually doesn't look too bad. It's just that angle it looks kind of weird. And man, if this some kind of unfolded somehow, that could be really cool. It could be it could be really, really, really cool. We'll see what happens, but
that one looks probably the least modified in some ways, because you can see even on the side you could still see the lower wings of the Aurora. You could see it looked like the whole body was still there. It was just that the side was different, but yeah.
So it's not really an argument that I'm trying to argue about here. It's like, well, what do you start to classify the other ships as? And when what I said before, where that Mustang Hornet thing, that looks medium to me, having a Hornet involved, but maybe it could drop to a light. Does that mean that the Aurora one drops to Grey's starter? Do you see where I'm going, right? So how? What I'm saying is, if they we know that they always try to hit something on the grid, right? They always try to, essentially a capital, a large, medium, small, and then like a snub or something like that, right? So where do these land on the grid? And if they were doing ships to squadron, don't you think you would also try to hit the same things on the grid? Here's our large ship. Here's our small. You know what I mean? Because if you've got things that you got to shoot, you kind of essentially want to scale your enemies up and down according to the missions you're on and stuff like that. You get my point, right? So I think that's like I'm trying to kind of think of how they designed it from the single player, but that could also be used to determine how they fit into the Star Citizen. That's my entire point. So
I suppose the differentiation I could see is you've got the, and I think you were kind of alluding or making the same point yourself, is you could have a heavy fighter that is a single player, and then one that's split, but it's a two-player.
Well, the
different role,
The other thing is
different
with
variety.
with that Shiv specifically, we never saw that thing kind of firing at guns in a video. We saw it in a cutscene, right? So I always assumed the Shiv was never really a combat vessel. It was built for a cutscene, and so I thought these were the 3 original ones. But I guess we'll find out when Squadron actually like fully comes out, and we'll have the answers to that stuff in hindsight. But yeah, regardless, I think out of the ones that are there, this is probably one of the cooler looking ones, to be honest for you. So I think the Basher will be, I'm hoping it'll be popular with people, but to see how it goes. But we'll have to wait and see until next week where it lands. But if it's just another heavy fighter, that would be a bit weird for you know, to have a manufacturer that has a ship and 2 of them are the same class.
And
it's just a bit weird. And I just don't see them doing that. I could be wrong. I could be utterly wrong, but it doesn't seem like the CIG that, well, stranger things have happened, surely, but like you think they'd want to spread it out.
That back end Vanguard, that just looked like a standard Vanguard. It didn't look like a
well, it's kind of, I wish I could actually take this through and do a contrast run it like I do on Photoshop, but I'm pretty sure that is the Vanguard. And the only reason I kind of noticed it was because we were just on the Vanguard, so it was kind of a lucky twist of fate. These almost look like Freelancer engines, actually, now I look at them. Yeah, it's got that thing on the bottom. Yeah, that's a Freelancer thing.
So
Gladius wings, or they could be made up wings, but they look like Gladius to me. And again, if you go back to the top, it's hard to tell.
Yeah,
you can't really see much else because it's So we're limited by view. Oh shit! I just realized I didn't bring everyone with me. Then sorry about that. Sorry, go ahead, Algared.
But if my question is there enough in there to see whether that is just a standard Vanguard type entrance, or is it a hoplite entrance? Because if it's a hoplite entrance, then it becomes a Grey's troop carrier.
Well, this is where
I'm just tossing things out.
I get. Well, let's look at the one we have, the Shiv. That was essentially a modified Cutlass, right? Mm-hmm. And the only thing that was really different was it's technically a little thinner on that medium section, but the ramp was exactly the same, and the cockpit was exactly the same. So for ease of redesigning, if it's a Vanguard straight through the middle, essentially, if you were going to rework it, wouldn't it just be the pod that changes?
Yeah.
Right? And we know the pod is fairly wide, right? Which makes the Vanguard a bit wider than this. So if you just made it a slimmer pod, you see where I'm going, right? Do you still put a bed on it? Like I go to cargo, right? Is where my brain goes. So does it just become a smaller cargo ship? So like, do you know what I mean? Like a bit like the Shiv, but like one step down.
Well,
do you need a bed on it anymore? These are questions of stars, because you look at the Shiv, right? The Shiv's still got the bed and the toilet, but it's a different toilet, right? You get my point, right? And it went to a remote turret, went to 2 people instead of 3. So if this is just a 1 person that does have the Cutlass as well, so does that mean it could be 2 people? But what does the second person doing? Now, from what I can see here, you tell me, there's no functionality here for a second person?
Doesn't look like a turret on top.
Yeah. So my brain goes to, how do you cut a Cutlass? And also in that reflection, there was only 1 seat. There was not 2.
Yep.
So now it's a Cutlass for 1 person. What do you do with the back area? You see where I'm at now? So how do you convert the Vanguard's back area, and knowing that the front is a Cutlass, right? You see where I'm at? So it's so how do you? There's not a lot of area there to work. What if anything do you need there?
Well, you've got the Like my thought is, if it is a Vanguard back, we do have two distinct Vanguard bodies in a sense. We've got the hoplite, which is they changed to be a troop carrier, and you've got the stand. Then you've got the other ones where the back is the same, and the you've got your torpedo, your science, your standard. If it's a troop carrier, you don't need beds at all, because I don't think the hoplite's got beds from memory.
This is where I'm at. What if you have the ramp off the Vanguard, and it literally goes straight up the ramp, and you know how you've got that door at the back of the Vanguard, and then that door at the back, you literally go straight through it, and it's the Cutlass cockpit. So it's literally just a ramp access with no cargo whatsoever, and then what you do is you just stretch out the nose at the front. And then the guns have essentially been moved to the wings. There's no special nose, and that would allow you to put another ship's nose on it or something on the front and lead into that jalopy look. Could be wrong, but that's where my brain's gone. It's literally just the back ramp of the Vanguard, head with the Cutlass cockpit. I could be wrong, but that's where I'm at. Oh no. We'll see next week, because again, this is definitely way too much rope to hang yourself territory.
Yep. I think I've taken several meters.
We are definitely in that. That's the other episode we can do this weekend is Basher speculation too.
Yeah, we'll rehash what we've just done now. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Why not? You know, we've got this
hanging fruit.
we've got this short 5-second clip of Evercrack. Why not?
No.
Yeah, good night.
Talk about it for 20 minutes and stuff.
Good night, Dub Cody. Have a good one.
Yeah, take care, mate.
So yeah, I know.
But yeah,
we'll see.
All right, that's an insult. It says, what are the plans to get the last ship without any paints? The original 85X up to the last what are the plans to get the last ship without any paints, the original 85X, up the best in shows charts?
I think they would already be getting that ready to go. Let's put it this way. They know what we do now, and they tend to, well, look what they did with the Gladiator.
They go.
Yeah.
Yep. When we start doing stuff, they'll either put it in against the ship they know it's going to lose against, or expect it to lose against, or people will speak and it'll go forward anyway.
And it's had little tiny touches over the time period of the last couple of years, which tells me that it's had little bits done on it here and there. But again, yep, that is the plan going forward. Paul and I did talk. Actually, we talk about it in the tier list show, to be honest with you. It does actually come up when we talk about the 85X. So, but yeah, that is the plan. It's the last one. Let's get them all done. And then I think we're gonna have to teach them a lesson again with memes. Because we all learned that lesson as a community when we did the MPUV. It was really obvious to us, and they made a lot of money on volume, and that was what we were trying to teach them at the time. And
they massive expensive ships.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I thought these were marketing people, but they don't know marketing, and I don't know a lot about marketing, right? But I know more than some of them that are doing it as a job, and I thought that's kind of weird. And Paul's done marketing, and he's like, yeah, 100%, you're right, they're wrong, you know. So,
like, I think it's the difference is they might like marketing, but they may not understand the Star Citizen community. I think that's a difference.
That's a good point. But I think the other thing is we've also, it's almost like they don't take notes and pass them on to their, you know, the next in line. So you've got to teach the new person when they come along, and it's just this, you know, because back when we did that, it was a completely different person, and I think we've had 2 people since then. So
you don't keep notes because you try to make sure you're indispensable.
Yeah, but by the same token, like, these people come in with a cookie cutter mentality of, I worked on games for 10 years. Well, not all games are the same. And not all communities are the same.
And that's the hard call, because I agree 100% with that statement. And yet almost every week I say it's an MMO like every other MMO, and blah, 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 blah. And yet it is totally different.
Mm.
You know, so there's yeses and nos, and there's there is that balance, but you can't, in some aspects, you can't look at a game and go, it is like every other game. In other aspects, it is just like every other game. And yeah, I know it sounds like a tautology or a conundrum or brain deadness, but yeah.
All right. How many questions we got left? We probably don't have many. It's that quiet time of year. Oh yeah, jeez. We've only got about 5-10 left. All right, cool. Let's chew through them.
So, but if you guys put more questions in, we'll happily talk about them.
Yep.
Actually, Citizen Ninja, I'll go to his question because that ties in with the 89 discussion we were just doing. He says...
you mean the 85X, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he says, after the 85X finally gets its first plate, could the Origin 300 series be the next meme ship, since they only have paints available in the customizer?
Hang on, sorry, what was the ship he mentioned? Not the 85X, the other ship?
He said, after the 85X gets it, could the Origin 300 series be the one that gets it, because it only has paints available in the customizer?
A good question.
I would say, yeah, it seems like a fair cop.
Well, I just think they want you to pay for the skins, basically.
Well, regardless of where, you're always paying for skins regardless.
And it's a little bit different because skins are working for it, so it's not the same thing. It was making it so every ship in the game could have a skin. That's kind of essentially was the whole thing, and it's now the only ship left. And knowing John Crew enough that he does he's savvy enough with following the community and stuff, I'm pretty sure he would have already heard about what we're planning to do for the 85X. And look what he did with the Gladiator. That thing was ready to go. That was like, we don't have to go back to the drawing board and do work. We've already done it. And I'll be willing to bet he's put that into his plan, and it'll be ready to go for the 85X because he knows what we're like.
100%. 100% I can see him doing that.
Yeah. So this is why we don't vote for the 85X and screw up his whole plan. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be evil. That'd be evil.
That'd be
but,
it's
the 85X is a classic ship to use. It's almost MPUV-ish in terms of smallness. Cost is down, and so that wins.
What I actually said at the time in the bias guide, I'm not in the bias guide, in the tier list show, I actually remembered now, is they talked about in the 1.0 presentation at the CitizenCon in Manny, that they wanted to have a courtesy shuttle ship to deliver you back to your ship. I think it should be the 85X, and have an NPC that flies you back in the driver's seat, and you just sit in the passenger seat and essentially get chauffeured back to your ship.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And it's a high quality type of ship that they would want to do that with. Like a customer service car, you'd want it to be of good quality.
Yep. It's not your stretch limo, but hey, it's a
classy little shuttle.
Yes, Shinobi Trip, where is our PTU paint skin?
PTV.
Yes.
You got to forget Algared. He's getting old man syndrome. He's done it twice in the past 5 minutes. I don't know what you called it. It was something like 95X or something you called it. You didn't call it an 85X. You called it something else. And I went, what the hell is he talking about? And then I went, okay, he's clearly talking about the 85X. You said it was like 95X or X95 or something, or 95M or something. You said something that was slightly off kilter. Yeah. Sorry, I do it too.
Same, I was reading PTV, but yeah.
You said PTU. Which is adjacent. I can see why you do it. Again, we both do it. We both call Sims the same name. We use the gladiator, gladius. Like it just happens. Don't worry about it. I'm kind of used to speaking your lingo.
90% of the time, we can understand each other. Problem is,
but that's why we
understand us.
But yeah, and that's why we correct each other so you guys know what the other was talking about. We're just translating for each other. Don't worry about it. All right, next.
Rabbit does say that NPC should talk to you at the game.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it giving you the local info.
Yep.
And or telling you news, but that would mean updating all the time. But maybe telling you bad jokes or something like that could be.
Not really with the way AI is going either. It could go that way. Like the way, I guarantee you they're going to implement AI into the discussions and stuff, because it's just such a simple feature that I can't see them not utilizing. If the AI knows, if you think about what Gemini and Grok and ChatGPT can do right now when you ask it to look up a local restaurant or something like that, it's akin to that, except it's pre-established, so they don't even need to go searching for it. It's just there. Like, here's the information about Lawville, and you go, hey, is there anywhere good to eat around here? And it'll go bang, 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 because the places are fixed. So it's actually really easy to do if you think about it.
I would like to see them do it. The only thing I could see being a block to that, and someone raised it a while ago, would be the copyright on the using the AI tech, and then the AI people say, "Oh yeah, you used our tech, we therefore own."
No, no, wouldn't work that way. And that's a part of the thing with the AI stuff that's going around, because they're trying to claim that they created it, but their argument is, no, you created it, because of someone makes Disney work and stuff like that. So realistically, all they would need to do is kind of make their own localized local language model that's built within the universe of Star Citizen. And so basically, it's only pulling from the resources of Star Citizen. Well, that's not their information, is it? So, so basically,
the tool, but not the information.
And again, there are tools that game developers use and they pay a licensing fee for all the time. One I think back to is Blink Video, or Bink Video from back in the day. Everyone used it from their cinematics and stuff, because basically what it was an executable video, right? And you couldn't just play the video. You needed to have, it was like an encrypted video player essentially, right? And so it could play cinematics and stuff within your video. And you'll often see when you load up a game, it'll show you all the fucking tools that they've been using, even if it's as simple as Unreal Engine, right? We've licensed the Unreal Engine for use of it. Well, it's the same thing. NVIDIA have built a tool around AI and doing the voices for characters in video games. It would just come up and say NVIDIA AI character tech or whatever, and if that's what they decide to use, it'd just be paying a fee. It's not that they own the tech, and also you would keep it as a module so you can take it out of the engine
if you ever need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
okay, cool.
Yeah, not a problem.
Well, that was the only concern that I had, kind of related to that. But other than that, yeah, I'd love to see them do it. I'd love to see the characters become the MP, and I can see them doing that just as I think of it, things that Chris always wanted. What you remember what Chris always said? He wanted NPCs to be indistinguishable from players.
Well, and we've talked about that in previous episodes we've done with Morphologist. Just how do you make them feel real? We went through all that stuff, and everything we talked about in those episodes was before that stuff was coming around. So you kind of bring that stuff in, and you can see that it just makes it easy to implement.
It makes it easier to do that type of stuff we talked of.
Yeah, lowers the barrier of entry.
Yeah.
And anything that just makes it easier makes it easy to implement. It's just that simple.
Now, I'm going to go to our Twitch chat again, because in our Twitch chat, Phoenix Sev says, it would be really cool if I add some sort of transporter, like in Star Trek. If you're a part of an org, you can transport to their capital ships. Now, I don't know about you, but that makes me think of, it's raising the age-old question of agent smithing and how do we group people up. And CIG have talked about options for that. They've never talked about transporting, but they have kind of talked about the idea of if you had NPCs on your ship, your friends would be able to take over the NPC and become that NPC to be able to play with you. And then later you'd go back. But we haven't really heard anything new on that front for a long time. But it is something that type of desire to get people to be able to play together and be on the same, do the same missions is something that CIG has always wanted. So Yeah, I can see it coming, whether it's a Trek type thing or whether it's still agent smithing, as we called it, or as players referred to it when it first came out.
It's definitely a unique problem to this game.
Yeah.
Because of the distance. Not many games have a distance, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it is a unique issue.
Yeah, well, case in point, we were looking at doing that flight thing with the Vanguard together. But I'm in Stanton, you're in Nix, and it would have taken 20, 30 minutes to just get there.
Now, I've never shown this before, but just because of what Phoenix says, I am going to show it for Phoenix. Here you go. And I wear that every day. Anyway.
All right. So, scrolling back up, let's see where our next question was. Done that. That's an insult. What are your best 4 in-show speculations for Final Four? So, for best in-show.
Oh. That's a bit hard because there's been a lot of ships in the last 12 months. And I think my personal taste will be very different from the broader community. Personally, I think it would have to be the Perseus, the Paladin. I've got to put the 85X in there. Asgard was last year, wasn't it? Oh, it can't be this year. What about you, Algared? You ever think? I'm just thinking about last one.
I think I'd certainly go the Perseus and the Paladin, because when the Paladin came out, people were like, "This is the ship we wanted." Perseus because it's popular. 85X because we wanted to get a skin.
Yeah. I know Rabbit's saying Clipper, but I just don't think the Clipper landed well because even till this day, it doesn't really work properly. It doesn't do the fabrication stuff yet. I firmly believe that's why we haven't seen a variant of that yet either. There's something.
There's something that's stopping it. And
yeah. It's probably,
I would like to say,
the variants are probably gameplay related. Like, for example, if it's a underground miner, like I speculated, well, we don't have underground mining. Not going to see the Clipper until then. That's simple. And
it's just right. So it's the cargo, and it's just the cargo capacity, and it's just too small for it to make it a viable cargo ship. So without that gameplays that goes with it, it kind of falls dead. The other ship I was thinking of off the cuff was the Ironclad, but the Ironclad has been so buggy.
Yeah, so that was where my brain was at too. I was going between Raelian and Ironclad, and I think at the moment it would have to be the Raelian, even though it's so new. It is technically in the running, because the Asgard only came out like around about this time last year, and then it made it into the Final Four. So I'm gonna have to go Raelian. I think that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be honest with you. There's just something, even though it's buggy, right? And again, it's a personal thing. There's just something I don't like about the Ironclad, and I can't put my finger on what it is. But I think it's. I'm just going to say it as nicely as I can. I think it's too simple. It's just a flying box. It's just like I can't not look at it and look at it like a caterpillar that's widened, and then it's just attached to a shoebox. And then it just pushes this shoebox through space. That, like, ever since I saw the concept, I just went, this is just a giant room. Why have they made a giant room with a lid? Like, and it's so expensive. Like, it's a really simple, like, you look at the Hercules, right? And you can appreciate the art of it, the style of it.
Yeah.
But this is just a box. If I look at the Caterpillar, that's not a box. That's a ship. And it's got personality. The Ironclad just
multiple parts to it. The Ironclad is, as you said, a great big box with an opening lid. The only thing that really appealed to me with the Ironclad was that, and I've said it multiple times, the Moonraker experience, the ability to open up and literally swallow a ship. And you can do it. I've done it.
Yeah.
It was one of the first things I did in it.
Just to people in chat, right? You can say your money is on the winner, but we were asked to do the top 4, so that's why we're doing 4 of them. But I probably agree. The Perseus is going to take the whole thing. I reckon the Perseus will take the whole thing. I'm trying to think back to last year. The Shiv would be getting up in there though, right? If it wasn't the Raelian, I think it would probably have to be the Shiv. That's the only other one I can think of that was it's not as popular as the Paladin. But if it's not the Raelian, and then you tend to get your different groups that rally behind shit, and so I can see the cargo industrial people rallying behind the Raelian. And what else have we got? The Moth?
We got
fuck off.
the Thule.
The Thule and the no, but that's not an industrial, right? I'm talking industrial. Like besides industrial, you've got the Moth, and that ain't gonna land anywhere. That thing flew straight into the candle and is burning. It's done. Like I just don't ever see Moths in game. I think they're just I just don't see them.
Well, a couple of other ships. I just mentioned the Thule. I like the Thule as an alien ship just because that back hangar bay does feel more alien just because of that walk around, but it's buggy.
Have you tried to land in it while it's flying?
No, I've tried landing.
It's pretty difficult.
I tried landing in it when it was stationary, and my ships were going wacko.
Okay. So Exune is saying the Idris. I think the Idris is popular to people that own it. I don't think it's popular to many other people. Look at it in the way the people talked about the soloing the railgun or soloing the big guns on it. It had a bad taste in the community. So you got to think of it from that point of view, and stuff like that. The Matey, someone says it came out too recently, too fucking expensive. None of those heavy fighters. Think back to I think the only one I could think of that landed was the Scorpius. That was the only one that's made it into the vote previously. Am I wrong on that, Algared? Besides the Scorpius?
Yeah, I think
was there another one?
No, not even the Hurricane. We had to push for the Hurricane.
The Ares didn't make it in?
No, Ares sucks.
In
my opinion.
But I'm not talking about what we think of it.
Mark II is another contender. Wakefield. Was it Wakefield? No. Rabbit said Royal Mark II.
The Hermes is sexy little. Hey, the Hermes is popular. I never see the Hermes in game.
Yeah, I can't say I never even considered taking out the Hermes.
I know people pushed for the Lightning last time and it lost. So in a way, if you look at what you guys are saying, wouldn't the M80 cut the fighter group in half? And you've also got to add the Shiv back into that as well. And there were other heavy fighters around that time too. The Stinger, right? So you've got more to choose from now in the heavy market category. Is my point. So unless you guys rally and all get behind one, good luck trying to get all those people to agree on the same ship. By the way,
yeah, thank great. But we're talking about the last ship. We actually think the top of the top 4. And we've already got the 85X in the top 4.
Yeah, it's literally just, in my book, it's the Raelian or the Shiv, but I think it's going to be the Raelian. To be honest, I think with what they've just mentioned there has convinced me, because you've got the M80 and the other heavy fighters that'll split the vote. Because I can see a Shiv person going, "Oh, I also like the M80, also like the Lightning," and that pulls a little bit of the vote, doesn't it? Hull B? Shit, I didn't even think of that until just now. That was pretty well received too, but I think the Raelian beats it personally. I wonder how many people upgraded the Hull B.
If you're going for ships that were well received, again, I've got to go back to what Rabbit said. And as a 4th ship, and one that was well received was the Aurora Mark II.
Oh, yes. Shit, I totally forgot about that. Love that thing.
You know, that is a clear, I reckon that is a clear contender.
But
I hadn't thought of it until I saw Rabbit.
But traditionally speaking, the starters don't make it. The cutter didn't make it. I don't think I've ever seen a starter ship get up into it. None of them have made it into the final four because it's not a popular ship,
isn't it?
Well, at the time they take that vote, it's when it's the quiet period, and essentially only the hardcore of the most hardcore around. Now, every year we've seen this vote; it's increased. I remember when the first years it was only like 1,000 or 2,000 people maximum in a vote. We're seeing votes last year that were bigger than the final votes of previous years, right? So when I kind of work it all the way through, C8, no, you're right. Joy Pop is correct. The C8R did make it in. I stand corrected. Thank you, Joy Pop. It did. There is that red and black skin for the C8R or the C8X technically, or C8. Yep. But yeah, technically he is correct. He did say C8R, so he was wrong in what he said, but he prompted me, so I will admit I was wrong. He is right. There was a C8 that made it in. I'm going to go Raelian. Where's your final stance at before we move on?
Yep.
It's a guess.
I'd like to think.
It's a guess.
I'd like to say Aurora, but I think you're right. Starter ships don't go far. It'll get in there. Might go one level, but
I think you would. I would agree with you though. I would like it to be the Aurora Mark II. I really would. It's a beautiful ship. And well, that's why I keep hoping they do that to the Connie. They do that to Connie, man. They can write themselves checks.
Oh,
put it that way.
You've said it multiple times.
Yeah.
Second you first saw it, you went, "Oh, do that to the Connie." Yeah. Here's my money.
I'll take my money. Yeah.
You know, you've been saying that ever since, and
yeah.
You know,
I'm not. Am I wrong though? Am I wrong?
No, it'd be pretty. Well received, I think. I think probably. I think the Raelian and the Hull B will go head to head for that last point.
Raelian Hull B.
I don't know.
I think the Raelian goes just above the Hull B because of the alien factor, and
I'd agree with you. It picks it just because it's got that a uniqueness to it that's different. For me, the Raelian just doesn't feel as alien as I'd have liked it to feel. It feels too human.
It's like I said in the review. It does what it says on the tin.
Yep.
You know, it's not special. It's not unique. It's just a good ship. And that's the bottom of the bar, not the bottom of the barrel, but that's the bar for me. And it hit the bar, but it didn't jump over it in leaps and bounds. It just hit the bar.
It just went, that's what we're doing, and and if that's what you're doing for your ship, and that's what gets you up to the rankings, then that would be it. But yeah, either of those two ships. The Hull B is good. The Raelian, I've used it a couple of times. It's okay. It's good. I do like Batuli, but Batuli,
who knows? The Basher could come out next month, and all of a sudden it's the best ship since sliced bread. You just don't know. So I don't know where the cutoff is going to be, but I assume the cutoff is August. Because that's about when they start taking submissions, yeah? So I think the Bash is the last real ship in contention.
Yep. And it could be the runaway.
Yep.
Yes, there is a Connie gunship. The Connie, what's the base Connie?
The default Andromeda.
The default, the Andromeda, is basically a gunship. Once upon a time, it was a space superiority fighter.
Yeah.
Way back when there was only one Connie, and it was just called the Constellation. No Andromeda, no Phoenix, no Taurus. They were the days. So yeah.
I have to get myself in here. Sorry, I can't hear right now. I'm getting distortion in my headphones. I think it's this cable. Oh no.
Yeah, you've gone robot a couple of times.
There we go. All right, the distortion's gone. Right. Next question when you're ready.
The next question is from a Gasoline Moth, and he says, or they say, have you talked about the sneak peek yet? Yes, we have. Jigsaw, only a junkyard could love. Well, we think we worked it out, but hey, we could be wrong.
Well, I think the community and us worked it out. It wasn't just us, but yeah, I think together we all put the pieces together.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I was using the collective we.
Yeah.
Kita not coming. Rabbit says Vanguard rework soon. Surely it plays a decent role in Squadron 42.
Yeah, but I think it does what it needs to do for Squadron. It's not really a player asset, is it? It's a ship that's probably alongside you, or a ship you shoot at, or something like that. So
yeah, or a ship you salvage or do something with. But yeah,
I think a lot of those ships are not going to see love until afterwards. But
Rabbit again.
Yep.
Do you expect we'll see more kit back? Oh, we did that one. Found it. Finally found it. That was the one I took to the jump to front of a queue earlier.
Yep.
Barrel Athenium says, thank you for answering my question about the Crucible Polaris Endeavour over the last few weeks. I've been pondering the decision since the Polaris concept. I kept all three. That's a bad sign of Pokemon syndrome.
Well, up to him. It's his own choice.
No, but yeah, I've got all three.
Yeah, I got all three too.
So and that's probably, our prejudices on those ships probably show through, and it's the Endeavour and Crucible are just at their current price. They're still at their original concept price. They are going to grow.
They're kind of unbeatable at that price if you are willing to sit and wait. And we've waited this long. Well, I've been waiting since 2013 for the Bannermatchman and ASW, and it's one of the longest waiting ships we've to wait for. So, I think at this point, the only two that could possibly even surpass it are the Endeavour and the Crucible. And that all depends when the Bannermatchman comes out. You know what I mean? But you've only got to add a couple of years and you get to the Endeavour and you get to the Crucible. So I think there's a very good chance the Endeavour will be the longest ship that you've ever had to wait for. Put it that way. Could be wrong, but I think I don't know. We'll see.
So Barrel Athenium also then goes to say, as for my question, will there be time where I can clean the toilets in Algared's Odin to earn my way back into the cult's good graces? Because he did talk about, being a heretic in the last few weeks. No, I think the fact that you kept all three has got you back in the graces. You're no longer excommunicado. So we can be forgiving in the cult. Don't worry. We can be forgiving. Just don't do it again.
It does not roll off the tongue, does it?
No, it doesn't.
The reason why you're having trouble is it's the three A's in succession, so it's Lathian. Well, it's like Phenylalanine, and I say that, and people think I'm pulling shit out of my ass. There is actually a chemical called Phenylalanine, and the reason they named it that was they wanted people to say Lala. Phenylalanine is what it's called. It's actually like it's a artificial sugar. You find it in Coca-Cola. If you read the label in Australia, because they're going to do labeling, Coca-Cola, anything that has like zero sugar, so Pepsi, Max, Coke Zero, any of that stuff, it'll say Phenylalanine on the back of it. Anyway, and go look if you don't believe me as an Australian. It's like a really long word, and it says Lala, and it's Phenylalanine. Anyway,
La La Land,
but you'll go to La La Land when you have it, basically. That's an insult. It's the next one, Algared, when you're ready.
It is. That's an insult, says, with the Sentinel. Can we talk about how it doesn't have enough laser power to drop shields? How are you supposed to disable anything?
Well, I'll have to get in and fly that and test that out. But
I would imagine part of it with the Sentinel is the E-Warfare stuff it'll do.
Yeah, you got to remember it is half a ship, isn't it, at the moment?
Like the torpedoes on it, if from memory, we were supposed to have E-Warfare torpedoes.
Missiles, but not torpedoes. But you are correct. It was meant to essentially have the same missiles as the Defender, which also doesn't have those missiles yet.
No.
So
So yeah. So
also meant to have that
yes, it might.
hacking missile as well, Algared, that kind of attaches
Yeah.
to the outside of your ship, so it does an antenna, so it can essentially attack you. So yeah.
So
Or hack
yes, it probably is underpowered to break through shields, but
you.
the role of as you said, it's half a ship, half its gameplay is not there, so it's not going to work.
How does it struggle with size 5's lasers to break through shields? Isn't that's a size 5 attrition, no? Or am I saw the wrong gun? Well, that was a size 5 attrition.
It was a size 5 attrition.
Why would you be struggling to get through shields? Lasers chew through shields. All right, I need to test that. Yeah. I need it. Maybe he can't aim. Maybe he's got your blindness, and he.
Maybe.
I don't know.
It can take me a while to take ships down, but
All right, I'll get in and
yeah.
And I didn't think I needed to test that one, but I will get in and I will do that. Before we talk about them this weekend, anyway. And Algared will have to do the same way, Algared. You'll have to get in. And you've only really got to test probably the Harboring and the Sentinel. The others are pretty much the same. So yeah.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yep. Rabbit says about the Hornet storage module. It's supposed to fit on the F7A Mark II, or is it just the Mark C? I thought it was supposed to fit on any of the, certainly the Mark I's.
All the Mark 1s and all the Mark 2s are meant to have their own separate cargo modules of their own variety. But yeah,
circle, that module would replace the remote turret. It replaces the
unless something changed. Unless something changed in going from the Mark 1s to the Mark 2s, which they may have had to do in concession. As far as I'm aware, it was meant to work on any. It said.
But yeah, and if it doesn't, there should be a Mark II version of the cargo module that fits on. My understanding is it's supposed to fit. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder what are the other modules coming from for the Aurora Mark II. Anyway.
Architect TV says, you think CIG will release the build module this IAE with the Galaxy?
No. I've also said that it's not a good idea to do that. Actually, I've never really kind of asked your opinion on this, Algared. What do you think of what I said? Make it the shipbuilding thing? I think you did.
I thought it. Yeah. No, we talked about, while you talked about it online at length, we've actually talked about that offline.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yeah. So share your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought the same as yours. So the idea, when we were talking with Chris and Ben, that they thought was initially, but we didn't say. We haven't sold it. It's a manufacturing module, not a build module. And we went, yeah, but it wasn't put up in the in a citizen comp, and they're like, and it was clearly something that they weren't aware of.
Because Todd Pappy had done that.
Yeah, but you can see it's clearly in that presentation. It was clearly said it was a build ship,
but when
it was not intended.
But now they've made the build.
Yeah,
and when you realize variants are better than modular, you could essentially, you can. They've said it's manufacturing.
Yeah.
But they have implied that it's a builder. But realistically, when you work it through, what would you prefer? Would you prefer it to be a builder that's already inferior, or would you rather it be a manufacturer or fabricator, as it should be, and it builds ships remotely and vehicles remotely? That's a huge boon. Anyone else will have to use a build to build a factory to then build said ship or vehicle. So you can just build them wherever you want.
And if you've got a manufacturing plant, where it's a fabricator, and you can build a vehicle, you build the
build a vehicle. Yeah, exactly.
Build a vehicle, and then you've got to build.
So you get a unique thing, and you're just going the other way, where they're going building a factory and then building the vehicle. You're building a vehicle and then building the factory. So you can go there too. Yeah.
So I kind of hope they don't. I hope they stick to their guns and it's not a build at all. That it just sticks to manufacturing / how do you make it different from a base builder? You turn it into a fabricator.
Again,
because
it was implied, but it was never explicitly said. And they did. The only time it said was manufacturer. It never said building. It never said fabricator. It just said manufacturing. So that allows them. And again, it was also never sold.
Yep.
So I think you've got to realize it's a double up, and you got to be adult about it and go, right, well, we're going to give you the fabricator. We're gonna meet you halfway. Yep. So we're not going to delete it because they never sold it. So they have every right to just say, "Nah, you're done." Which would be really annoying because people brought it assuming it was doing manufacturing.
Yep.
But to my own credit, I only brought a CCU because I was suspicious. I just brought a CCU and I got a Valkyrie. And I know I'm not the only one. I know, Pete, you still around? Pete did the same thing. I made the same recommendation to Pete and he did the same thing. $5 Valkyrie to Galaxy CCU. Just sat on it. And I've got it there sitting in my inventory and it's there ready to go. The Galaxy comes out and wows me. Because to me, it was just not a ship that I'm not super interested in. It's a little bit like what the Ironclad turned out to be. I was interested in the Ironclad. To be honest with you, I actually applied CCUs up to the Ironclad. That's how interested I was in it. But then it landed.
And you went,
and this is a flying shoebox. And so I'm probably going to turn it into something else.
I like the Galaxy for the modularity, even though I know modules are not as good.
Yeah.
But I never expected the Galaxy to be a build. To have a building thing. For me, it was always manufacturing and.
Yeah,
you know that you know, but as Ben and John said to us, well, we've never sold it. We're not beholden to having to sell it.
And that does give them the ability to step back. It really does because it was never sold. So you know, it was heavily implied. I will totally agree, and that is a bit sinister. Let's be honest. We've seen other gaming companies do a lot worse.
And also, in fairness, you know, John jumped on that.
Yeah, within 24 hours. Yeah.
Within 24 hours of having that been brought to his attention and the problems that it raised, he jumped on that straight away.
Yeah, to his credit.
You know, so no negative there in terms of John and how they dealt with it.
Man of action.
Absolutely. But based on the fact that we do have the build, I would really hope they don't do it. Like, as you said, why go get a ship that's subpar on the task when I can just build a vehicle that can do it, or hopefully do that.
Yeah.
Or have one that does building that's really sucky at it versus a ship that's really good at it.
Especially when you have a ship that already has a cargo bay and an elevator.
Yeah,
like it's like how many ships actually have little car? Like how many times have I said, why the hell don't they make this stuff to metrics? Why the hell? Like, and this is the first one we've got that's got a 2 metric snub bay. It's perfect for it. It's screaming out for it even to be a fabricator.
To being able to build some ships, to be able to build vehicles with the elevator as well. Yeah, it does. It screams for it.
We'll put it this way: the Thule can't even take the Merlin and the Archimedes. So it would be terrible as a fabricator, right? You go back and look, you can do a Carrack as it. There is literally no other ship I've seen that is perfectly built for snub manufacturing.
Yeah, no, the Thule sucks as a Carrack.
If I was to do anything, right, and I know that they won't do this, right, but if you could make it a little bigger, and it could also make smaller fighters like an Arrow or some of the starter ships. That would be really cool, right? But as soon as you can do that, you're also into the Gladius territory and stuff like that, and it becomes a very slippery slope where they think, because that's a lot of power creep. To have a ship that can literally pop out massive combat. Well, it's not massive, but you know what I mean? Like if you're popping out Gladiuses, how do you balance that, especially in space? So yeah,
if you've got it, and look, a fabricator ship that could build P-52 72s
it's still pretty strong.
That that would really fit nicely into RSI's wheelhouse, because you've got your constellations. Oh, we've lost our snub. Oh, build another one.
Even
yeah.
even drones, Algared. You could pop out drones, and you're resupplying drones to the front lines.
Yeah,
that's massive too.
Crucibles to.
Well, yeah, you've got your Vulcans coming along. Yeah, but even if they make an attack, like a drone swarm ship,
yep,
or attack drones, if you can resupply any form of combat, that's going to be really strong.
Yep. So, yeah, it would be a great. The Galaxy would be a great fabricator ship. But I don't see it being necessarily a great build ship, just because of the way the layout of the ship as well. I think the build, just leave it as that and let them do that. But as I said, as Ben and John said, we didn't sell. They were almost. I remember but it's not a build ship; it's a fabricator, and we didn't even sell the fabricator. It was they were dumbfounded that we were. What planet are you on when the question was first asked?
It really showed me how much they don't talk to each other. Because you would assume Todd Pappy would have run that by the ship team, wouldn't you?
Yep.
If I'm going to put the Galaxy up on my slide and show that it's a base builder.
Yep.
What the fuck?
But that really threw that really threw John and Ben, and they just know it's the fabricator, and we haven't sold the parts, so we don't have to. Well,
they didn't say fabricator; they said manufacturing. They said manufacturing. I don't want to put words in.
Sorry, manufacturing. Sorry, they did say manufacturing.
Just to clarify,
Yep. They never said fabricator. Sorry.
No, that's all right. You don't need to apologize. We corrected. It's all good. We corrected it.
Yep.
All right, we're getting down to the last. Man, we're almost an hour. We've got 55 minutes. Oh, actually, let's do a giveaway. We haven't done one. So the one with the most votes was the one that's been removed. Someone tried to sneak it. Look, someone's added an extra vote. You sneaky bastard. It's sitting here.
I don't mind votes being added.
No, that's all right.
I will say, if you do happen to see our videos on the phone, always, if you can, do the hype. Always helps. Hypes help.
Oh man, now I can't find the thing. Where the hell is it? I need to find it. It's here somewhere. What was it called? YouTube random comment picker. Is this the one? Yes, this is the wheel. This is no. I'm not going to use the wheel. I was going to do the wheel. Then I went, nah. Use this. So this video only won by 2 votes. By the way, it was going to be. So we're going to do the Murder at the Disco one, and this one only missed the chopping block by 2 votes. And did I press game instead of? What have I done here? What have I done? What? Okay, something broke. What? Okay, that was weird. Why isn't the... Why? Oh, I minimized it. I'm an idiot. Sorry. Apologies. All right. So yeah, we're going to do the comment picker. There's a little ad thing that comes up in this now. It's annoying. But good luck to everyone. Here we go. Yep, says the ad. Nice. H Butler 2. I'm open to the October event being pre-release invite, but not uncommon games. Blah 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 blah. See you on YouTube. Congrats, you have won the what's the Raelian and the Thule. So this is the one with the more votes. So this would be the Raelian. Congrats, you.
Congratulations.
Let's spell that. Congratulations, you have.
Sorry, Spike.
Have won the Raelian. Thanks to us and CIG. Please.
I do believe, Spike, it was the Raelian video we eradicated because it got 2 more votes than this one.
Yeah, it did. So we can that sent off to you ASAP. From X, I'll just copy that because I'm going to have to do it in a minute. Right. They will have a week to get in touch with us. If not, we'll do it again next week. And if they'd been here live, which they're not, they would have got a skin. As we always do. Anyway. And my cough sounds like it's starting to rear its ugly head. And the last one we've got to do, which we'll do before the end, is the Thule, which had 89. This had the least amount of votes, so that will actually win the Thule for the Thule Buyer's Guide. So, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Citizen Industrial says, do you think the issue is a marketing person or the execs that approve what they put forward? Should the leader have an intimate knowledge of the Star Citizen backers' culture and heritage?
Yeah, what's this in regard to? It sounds like it's an out of context question.
Based on the question itself, I'd say go back to our discussion on the marketing person and teaching the marketing person, etc., etc.
Oh, how do I say this politely? I don't think there is a polite way I can say it, to be honest. You know how we've talked about informed opinions in the past, Algared, right? And when you're a marketing person, if you think about it, you don't always do games, but if you do games, you think you know how all games are, but not all games are the same. We know Star System operates differently. That's why a lot of us are here, especially the ones that came in the beginning, or the further back you go, I should say. So when I look at it, we've been through enough marketing people now, and I know people in chat have been through enough marketing people in chat to know that they are different too. Some are way more invested than others, and some are completely disconnected. And you can almost feel when they're disconnected because they don't know what they're selling, or they don't know the products. But there are others you can tell they do know, you know. So it comes down to an individual basis of who the marketing person was at the time. And I think the other little weird, dangerous thing is it's the only staff role that you don't know until they've left the company. Because they don't want criticism, they don't want blowback or anything like that. But really, the only reason we'd want to know it is to tell them what they're doing wrong so they can fix it. We'd want to give them feedback. But they've worked at so many other gaming places, they've learned that they'll just get... They wouldn't take it as... Yeah, they won't take it as feedback. They'll take that as they're attacking me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading chat and I just realized Spike was on drugs. Yeah, Spike's on drugs. It's fine. Anyway.
So,
long story short, every marketing person is different. And I would say that we've had really good marketing people and we've had really good bad marketing people, right? Across the whole gamut. And it's just like an individual will go into places and things that they like, and it's how invested are they in their own job. I'm sure there's been people that have worked at marketing at Star Citizen that don't know anything about any of the ships, and I reckon there's people that have gone whole hog and gone all in.
Yep.
Just like real life.
Yep.
Hopefully the people that were bad, I hate the people that were bad just didn't stay there very long. Let's hope that was the case. Anyway, go ahead, Algared.
And Kasuni says, if base building is supposed to come next year, do you think farming will come out not long after?
I think it's a couple of steps behind, like more than you think.
But I look forward to the time when those types of things come. I know there are harvestables in game.
Yeah.
Plants, but
yeah. It does definitely open the door for it, though. It's one step closer. But I think there are bigger systems. Like, for example, I don't expect farming to be in 1.0 that way. Would you agree with that?
Not yet.
But I would expect repairing to be in 1.0.
Yep.
I'd essentially look at the systems we've got right now and go, what is essential? That's 1.0 in my book. Plug the holes, fix the holes, there's 1.0. Right? Like, I don't think you can really see too many drastic new systems that aren't essential or underlining financial tech. For example, excuse me, we've got mining or surface mining, but we don't have underground mining. We know that it's coming with the landing gear of the Pioneer, but that's a more automated thing. So I start to question now, could we see underground mining before 1.0? You see where I'm going, Aaron? Like, because it opens the door for it. But is it a tier 0 implementation? What is it? And the need I can see for it is we've got two linchpins at the moment. We've got mining and salvage. One's technically recycling. So really there's only one resource feeding mechanic in the entire game. We don't have farming or plants or animals and stuff like that. So everything that's fed in the game comes through minerals. And the few little plants that we do have. So there is definitely need to add something like farming, but how drastically different is it, right? And if you look at mining as in surface mining, and then you look at underground surface mining, I would call that 6 degrees of separation when you Algared. It's closer. There's not as much work is involved. Where when you go to say something like, let's make a whole new gameplay system around farming, that's a lot more difficult to add. So you get more for less
plant and just halves bits off, and
that more for less work approach we've talked about in the past.
Yep.
So you get a whole another way to add things into the game, and it's similar because it's probably just adding. Well, okay, now I can add another material that was under the ground, not on the surface, or there's more of it. But also, I'd probably add new materials. We've already got ores; they're just new textures and new names. Goddamn indigestion.
Well, related to that is Project Name's question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that sky whale hunting will be added to the game loop around Crusader?
Oh, that's
with the sky whale being added.
Yeah.
Because given the way they said you could kind of hand mine crystals or stuff that are growing on them, it gives you a chance to add new resources, but very similar thing. It's not really adding a gameplay loop. It's just adding different places to get the stuff. So I could see that tying in, and gives the plant and gives the.
In a weird way, if you think about how the game is right now, essentially that space whale is killable, but they're not collectible. If you're in Horizon, right? So unless the space whales actually fly up into space, which I don't think they'll do, I think they'll just fly around Horizon, like on an AI type of patrol path. Now, if I kill the space whale, and you're in a gravity environment, what's going to happen to the space whale?
Going to fall.
And what happens when you fall in Horizon?
Crunch, you die. Gone.
So killing it is superfluous. And it'll also probably have a shit ton of health because it's big. So rather than that, they've made it a collectible thing. So you go on the back of it, you mine it, and blah, 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 blah. You get where I'm going?
You've got a time limit before it goes down and all the rest of it.
Now, eventually, if you can somehow tractor beam a corpse or something like that, I could then see it being a hunting thing. It's a cart before the horse problem. We don't have big game hunting. So you see where I'm going, right?
Yep.
But
yeah,
eventually,
so
I can see I can see eventually, but not right now. What I'm seeing right now is these missions where you land on the back of it, you pull out your hand tool, and it's essentially hand mining, hand collecting shit. Like, look, it's stuff that we already have. There's no new mechanics there, other than I'm landing on a moving target, which is essentially, isn't it just a ship? You're landing on the back of a landing pad.
You're basically docking on a landing pad, and
yeah, exactly.
Now, Full Nation says SRV useful for tractoring the whale and pulling it up. No, I can certainly see that idea of
yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna do it after you. Yeah, Algared saw what I brought up. Yeah, go ahead.
It made me lose my train of
thought. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny.
But I can certainly see that idea of going onto the back of the whale and being a different location to gather resources from, because it's just a different location and enables different resource to be added as well. Doing the hand mining stuff, not adding new gameplay, but adding different locations. 100% see that. I can see whale hunting down the track, but not yet, because there's a different loop. And it would just, and if it is killable, then maybe if you do kill them, maybe there's a certain time before it sinks that you get to loot the corpse or do whatever. But I would also say around Orison, because I think they're also protected, you're going to get a crime stat and probably get the Orison police come and try and shoot you and do other stuff. So, So I don't see it being being that popular.
Yeah. It'll just go into the hand mining stuff on the back of it, and it'll be some kind of special new material, like a new, you know how you crack rocks or whatever, and it's like a space whale clam or something like that is on. It'll just be a new material and a new way. Like it's going to seem new to collect it because you're landing on something that's moving. And they'll probably make you got to land on it in a certain way. Like you got to fly up real high and get in the slipstream or something like that. That's what it'll be. It's not going to be anything too new from what we already have.
And then you'll have a time limit, bit like, Quantanium, where, once you land, because the whale will dive eventually. And then as it dives deeper, if you're still on the whale or you haven't got off, it'll crush you. The atmosphere will crush you. So, yeah.
I'm not sure who sent this to me, but they're in the UK. I think it might be Spike 6K that's on Twitch, but I could be wrong. All I can see is an S because I'm in streamer mode on Discord. But yeah, he's proving my point. Fella9 is on the back of the Pepsi can. Yeah, it's Fenny Lala9 or Felly Lala9. But yeah, see, I wasn't making shit up. It actually does exist. So there are some pretty funny and funky chemical names out there. But if you look up Fellalon9, it's basically an artificial sweetener. I tell you right now, don't drink it, too much of it. It will fuck your eyes really badly, really, really badly.
Yeah.
If I have any of it, I go blind in this eye for like a day. It goes all white and cloudy. Wow. So and when that happened on this eye, I've not drank any artificial sweetener since because I don't want it to happen to this one. Otherwise, I'd be going fully blind for like a day, and it would be, and because sometimes you'll eat foods and it's just got artificial sweetener in it and you don't know. And so I'll just go blind in my eye for the day and go, oh shit, can't eat that anymore. Add it to the growing list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
well, again, whale.
Sorry,
hang on. You said just harvest whale poop. It's very expensive. Well, whale poo would fall into the atmosphere.
That's exactly what I was about to say. I was going to say they're saying, "Hey, just harvest the whale poop. It's very expensive, and it's very expensive because
I think we've just confirmed what the basher is. It's a whale poop catcher. You just fly right up and munch it right out of the butthole. That's what it's bashing. It's bashing the butthole of the space whale. That's what it's for. Yeah, we get it now.
Oh, but. All right, so
it was Spike. He just said it. Yeah, thanks, Spike. I appreciate it. Because I obviously don't drink it anymore, so I wouldn't have been able to bring it up to show you. So yeah.
Salingo says,
sorry. Just right said that's what the ironclad's for. It's just a giant box with a roof to catch poop. It's a giant toilet. I get it now. It's a giant toilet. Anyway, go ahead.
Whale toilet.
Yeah, whale toilet. Yeah.
Okay, we've now got new memes for the ironclad.
Yep.
Yes. Selengo's question was, do you foresee an F7X or F8A being released as we approach Squadron 42 release?
What was the ship again? Sorry, I missed the number.
F7X, just whatever.
This has come up a few.
F7.
Look, this has come up a few times. I am more likely to think that that's the type of thing that they would want to do for like a collector's edition or something like that to entice us as people that already own the game to spend more. That's how I know that there's going to be editions of the game, right? If we all own this $60 version of the game, and then you have a $100 version and like a $150 collector's edition, it's all new cash. Well, how do you do that? You've got to look at collector's editions. They always have something, and they're not going to go to physical, so they're going to do digital. They already have Star Citizen, so they offer us something in Star Citizen to sweeten the deal, right? And if it's an F8X or an F8C, or you can see it right there. You pick 3 ships. I don't care what they are, man. Do you know what you do? You know how you get people to give you like three
each different pack.
Yeah. You know, you get someone to give you $350. You do a Scythe version.
Yep.
And that is the. Let's be honest. Look at back all the shit. Like, we'll see them as broken promises, right? But look at all the things they ever sold. What's the one thing they haven't gone and sold again? That would sell like hotcakes.
And they only sold what? I think it was a couple of hundred.
And it now sells for like, I think it's over $3,000 to $4,000 the last time I saw it. It might even be higher than that. Someone do a quick price check for me on the current price of the Scythe, please. But the last time I looked at it, and I'm going to be honest, it's been a couple of years.
I think the last I saw was, I've seen prices of 4 to 5.
I saw people come back and go, I only own these 2 ships. I haven't been around for the last 10 years. Are they worth anything? And one of them was a Scythe. And I'm like, holy shit, you're going to make so much money. Yeah. But yeah. So again, you do a Scythe edition, you could easily charge $350 for that, and people would pay it. And it comes with a copy of the game and stuff like that. Or do they make it even cooler and make it cool for us as a thank you? And every time you go up a version, it also comes with everything below it. So if I get the Scythe version, I also got the F8X, like this guy talked about, right? You know what I mean? So we get a couple of cool ships for cheap, and they to celebrate the release of the game, and they get a bunch of money.
Wakefield said 4,500 on impound US dollars.
Yeah. That's
That's
I don't know what it's like in the up over exactly on pricing, but I would argue that that's the price of an entire new PC in the up over. A really good one, by the way.
Yeah. For us, that's the price of a PC. And
the cheapest F5080s are now down to about 1,600 Algared, which is, if you go back to when you got your 5070, but you got a good 5070, not a cheap brand. I think you paid almost around that price, and it was around about 1,500 from memory.
Yep.
Right. Well, they're now $100, but that's the low end ones don't have issues. But again, when I got mine, it was 2,800, and that was the top of the line, and that was like 2 years ago. I'd have to go look up. I don't think you can buy mine anymore, because the top end ones, they only ever tend to do a limited run, and then they never do them again. But I'd argue they're still cheap.
I've got to say to Spike, yes, I do have 2, but even if I wanted to gift them, I can't.
One's in a pack, and the one was gifted to him for crossing one of the milestones, and it's ungiftable.
So even if I wanted to gift one, I can't.
So what we've concluded here is Algared won't give me the pack. What a greedy cunt.
Yeah, I know. No, I'm limited on that one as well.
I'm teasing. As if I get you to give me.
I know you are.
Yeah.
I know you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes. I did see a comment about the so Citizen Industrial has a question about the falling poop.
Oh, great. Here we go.
Does it get does it get a frame around it like the missiles, so it can be easily stacked?
No, it comes like in a Ming vase. That's yeah. Yeah, because that's a really good question though. How are they going to do organic? Since no, they'll just put it in a cargo crate. I'll just put it in a cargo crate.
Goes in a crate.
Yeah, just goes in a crate. And they'll say it's plastic lined or something like that. Yeah.
Yep.
I think they're only doing I think they're only doing the missile so you can tell it's a missile.
Yeah. Oh, look,
and if you look at current cargo containers, they tell you what's in them.
But the other thing I've noticed with missiles is often when you put a missile on a landing on a grid, it sinks halfway down. Whereas those crates will actually, I think, solve that problem and also enable you to stack them in a nice square rather than. So I think it'll just work. It'll look visually better rather than just having these things just stand kind of invisible gap between them, sitting there perfectly.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep. I expect to see some really good memes on the Reddit in the next couple of days over the whale poop. I want to see ironclads and shivs collecting poop.
Yeah. Ironclad toilet, yeah. I
want old man Algared out there with a mop and bucket collecting poop on the back of a space whale. All this type of stuff, in the yellow gumboots, bald head, shiny, reflecting off the sun of Horizon and blinding all the whales. You can go all out.
That's how I captured them. That's how they're stunned.
Stunned the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Beat your maker. Bang.
Yes.
I get out there, headbutt space whales. I can see it now.
Okay.
Flying around. What's the guy from Omni-Man from Invincible? It's flying around and going. Yeah, I want to see Algared as Omni-Man fighting a space whale. That'd be a good one too. I reckon that'd be funny. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry,
Algared. Parker says, do you think loaners will ever improve? Having lost C Daddy, I wonder.
I think that with him gone, they're going to have to redo the whole system. I think it's a sign that they're going to redo the whole system. So yeah.
Especially since a lot of stuff had to be done, like packages have to be done by hand. That's insane.
Yeah.
That's an absolute insanity.
So whatever he was working on, because it's website related, I think that'll move to, you correct me if anything I'm wrong here, but Montreal, and someone there will refix and rejig the system and modernize it.
Given that one of the things when we're in Manchester and I was talking to, on that first Bar Citizen, I was talking to a lot of people and asking, how long have you been in Star Citizen? And it was there I realized that 90% of the people there were the staff because I work. But the guys from Montreal, the guys who were from Turbulent, they were really happy to actually be. Some said, "I'm telling you, how are you happy about? Are you happy about the merge?" And they were ecstatic because it meant we can now work on the website properly, rather than just make a page that then gets broken because it gets too much pressure and we can't actually get in and fix it. So yeah, I could fully see it going to Montreal, and them guys being able to then develop that and build that out. So yeah, one would hope that would be the case.
Yeah, true.
So Galileo says, or Sol Galileo says, do you think the Nautilus will have a role change prior to release?
This came up recently on another show I was on. I can't remember. Oh, actually, I think it was the tier list. How do I put it? The problem that you and I both have with the Nautilus, step in at any time if I'm putting words in your mouth, by the way, is that those mines are very fighter-sized. And one of the metrics we've always used is, in a combat ship, is how well can it take itself out. And that is a ship that would struggle to take itself out with its own mines. The size 7s could do it, but the mines can't. Right? And when we talked to Ben and John, we kind of brought this up, and they said, oh, eventually you could see bigger mines. So my mind went to other questions later that we haven't really gone through, but about now if you want. Rather than make other, because we brought up the idea is, could we see a capital ship that did capital mines? And they said yes, possibly eventually. So my mind goes, well, then why don't you just make it so the Nautilus, if it's the mine layer, it just does all these different mines?
Yep.
But you can't sell that multiple times, but you can sell multiple sizes of, do you know what I mean?
You can sell the mines.
Yeah, you can sell the mines, but like you can't sell multiple. I mean, as in ships. So there's a, you know, if you've got essentially got a Nautilus that's a Corvette, that's an S5, then you make an S6 that's like Polaris size that does the next size up, and then you get up to say something Kraken and Aegis size that does the capital size. So you could essentially have 3 different sizes of mines. But personally, I'd rather just see one ship that can do mines. That's its thing, because it's so niche already. I'd rather it just does all the different size mines. So
I
go ahead.
I could see with that. I'd like to see the one ship, as you said. I could see them doing a modular cargo bay.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. So I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
the cargo bay. You know, that one cargo bay does 100. You know, does 50 size one mile. The next one does 20. The next size up. And so
in my brain,
cargo bays are able to store less mines.
My brain went slightly different. Why can't you just have a launcher that deploys any size of mine? So it's so if the launcher's like this bar thing at the back, or it was some kind of looked like some kind of conveyor belt thing that just shot out 4 mines each side. Well, why can't you just have it so it widens, but then as the mine goes up, you do less of them? So if essentially if these are small and they're doing 4, if you then go to medium, it only does 3, and then if you go to capital, it only does 2. That works for me.
Oh, you still got 4. Oh, you got 4 launchers, and you know the.
Well, they're not 4 launchers. If you look at them, they're like this thing that fold up like that, and it's kind of like they kind of run up it and deploy out.
Yep.
So was if it just goes wider, well, you're still running up. You're just running up, but there's less of them. Again, it's not. I didn't really elaborate exactly how that launcher works in the concept, but
I could see different size storage capacity.
The real strength of that ship, though, is actually the deactivation of mines, the special deactivation drones. That is launching them. Any ship can launch a mine, but deactivating them is a different story. You really need drones to do it.
Well, the other thing they also said about that ship that made it unique was the fact that it can store mines safely.
Yeah, because
they did talk about being able to store them in another cargo bay, but
but that was also so long ago. How are they going to?
But
how is it different from every other cargo ship? You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So it's just it'll just be code. It'll be a code difference. Yeah, it's like I said. The big difference is the deactivation drones, and those drones you could technically put it on another ship. But that ship, like, imagine trying to use a Crucible to deactivate drones. It's not really built for it, but yeah, you probably could. If you take the right drone, it could probably get away with it. And again, it doesn't have that cargo capacity or special cargo thing, as you're saying. But again, it is clearly being designed around mine deployment and deploying at speed and deactivating faster. Because that's where everyone else is going to have trouble, is deactivation.
Yeah, the deactivation and also maintenance were the 2 things that their drones were really keyed for. And so I hope they don't change it, and they don't break it up and change the role. I hope they stick the role, but I hope they keep it fairly unique. Just because of the reasons you said.
So to go back to the question, do we think they're going to do a rework? Well, we would hope they do a rework or an upgrade to it to allow it to do more different mines. The other thing that I would say that is a possibility that adds to this is the video from the ISC where you could walk around and see the entirety of the interior of this ship is being deleted from the internet, which tells me something's probably changed.
Something major has changed.
If they've scrubbed the existence of this thing, why is it no longer on the internet? Because they've changed something.
Yeah, they've changed it completely.
Yeah,
would be my guess. But
yeah,
and that raises the question: have they changed the role?
Again, at the time, not just us, but many other people did criticize the size of the mines because they were equivalent to size 5 torpedoes. And size 4 again, it's been really fruitful today taking that Vanguard out, but the Harbinger that had size 5 torpedoes. Size 5 torpedoes are the smallest torpedo you can get, and they are one step above the biggest missile. And we all know that torpedoes and missiles, it's really a size thing. So realistically, they are designed to take out fighters and the smaller ships. You know, they're not really like, you know, they'll do damage to a Connie, but they're not going to kill a Connie. Right.
Yeah.
And so when you kind of work that through, and then you also know the sentry turrets. I believe the sentry turrets only had size 2 guns. That means you rock up with some ships, and if they've got armor, they're not even going to take any hits. They're not going to do any damage. Just going to walk through those sentry turrets like they're not even there.
Just crunch, 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 crunch.
So
there's another pea shooter. Bang.
So it's one of those older designs now that need to change because it just doesn't fit the current game anymore. It's like when we used to talk about jump points and they used to be sizes, and now they're just all one. Again, as they discover their own rules are not working,
they have to change.
They're making more rules, and this is something. Look, I do need to sit down with Paul and do this episode because the back end of I'm sure you didn't because you don't often have time. But do me a favor, Algared, and watch the last half of the Thule buyer's guide because we tangent like a motherfucker, and we start talking about game rules and how this ship breaks its own rules, and you know, because it leads into the lore discussion and stuff like that. But it does point out this problem with a lot of the ships over the last couple of years where they don't know their own game. And that's where it kind of goes into. So for those of you that haven't watched that and you want to see me and Paul rant, go nuts. But I do need to sit down with Paul. Maybe yourself would be good to add into that one too, so you can add to it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when we have a third modified and add a new person in for a new spin, bring me and Paul sit out and do that in the next couple of weeks. And we were talking about doing it as an episode, but I think now that I think about bringing you in, that might be the better way to go. Bring you in, and that would make it a bit fresher. But it is something that they really do need to start to look at because it's becoming glaringly obvious that they have just been riding by the seat of their pants and not following their own law. Like, look, come on, you made the law, follow the law, you know? And a lot of people say
it makes our jokes about Paul being the law accurate.
Look, the law's not that important, but by the same token, the law does start to become important because it enforces gameplay rules. But when you have made these things and you've told us how important the law is, and then you instantly break them, there are ways to skirt the law, though. We even sit here and say, like tell them how they could do it. We're not geniuses. We didn't make this shit up. Dave Haddock did, and the writing team made this up. Why aren't you going to them and getting them to give you the idea of how to let you bypass their own system? If you want if you want to do something, like if you'd gone to them and said, and Algared, I know the answer you're going to say, so I'll just paraphrase it, right? But if you went to them and said, how do we make the Ares? They would have told you how to make the Ares. They would have said, yeah, let's make it Kruger and do this. They would have done exactly that. If you've gone to them and said, how do we do the Thule and make it industrial? Well, you're going to have to make an industrial ship that's a snub to go along with it. Problem solved. But they haven't done that. And do you think they're going to do that? I don't think they are. I really don't think they're going to do that. And I don't, to the point that the first snubs in the game, the Merlin and the Archimedes, don't even fit in it. So they are in such a current year of thinking, the only ships they tested in it were the Pitbull and the Fury. They forgot they'd even made the Merlin.
Yeah, that was, and I'll be honest, I was very disappointed. Like, I like the idea of a Thule. It kind of, to me, had almost that feel of the pirate raider ship from Babylon 5, a big circle with the ships kind of docked around it. But they were outside. This is kind of inside. So it had that feel for me.
I don't.
It had an alien feel that I liked. But the fact that you can't put P-52s and 72s in it, the fact that you can only put Furies or Pitfalls.
I don't think I can show this image on stream, Spike. It's a little bit unsafe for work. I might show it to Algared. Here you go, Algared. Have a look at this. Do you think this is safe to show on stream?
It's very, very. I think John Crew. It's the type of thing John Crew would
Oh,
appreciate.
John Crew. All right, I'm going to show it. Fuck it. Here we go. John Crew would appreciate this. Algared, for fuck's sake. No wonder I use the Hurston as my home base.
Yep.
Yeah, it's covered in chocolate. If anyone's asking, it's covered in chocolate. Chocolate. It's chocolate, guys. Chocolate.
Yeah, it's chocolate.
Chocolate. The chocolate spirit.
And
Oh god, it gets worse. The chocolate spirit. That's got to be the name of the ship. Oh my god, the chocolate spirit. Oh, you could call it a chocolate starfish. That's even funnier. Anyway, right. Yeah, nicely done, Spike. I appreciate that. That was good, man. That was good.
Anyway, so
you're after Christmas card list. That's what that meant. If you can't translate Algared, that's what that means.
Probably that's where our last couple of questions are.
Yep.
I think. I've got to get back to Streambot.
Yeah, hang on. I'll probably beat you to it. Hang on. There's about 5 there. About 5 there. Question. Tell me if I'm bringing the wrong one. Question. This is from Sol Gallio. It says, question: do you think the Nautilus? Oh, we did that one. Wakefield, as the newest player, as a newer player, what the hell are you doing here? How did you make it here, sir? Wow. All right. Wakefield.
He means newer as in
last 5 years. He's just 13. He's been here. His dad brought him along. As a new player, what should one expect for IE? So he hasn't been into an AIE before. Amount of ship releases. Will it be like DefenseCon? It's basically like DefenseCon, but it's all of them, not combat.
Yep.
And you also have CitizenCon a little bit before that. So there's kind of more of a run up into AIE. But here's the kicker. We found out this year that DefenseCon or Invictus is where they have the most engagement all year. So AIE is more of a perspective thing. So the veterans are more likely to turn up for that because it's got all the ships. But for some reason, because it's combat focused, more of the normies turn up.
More new people turn up.
Food for thought.
So Wakefield says they've only been playing for 3 months.
Or sort of a bitch, worse than 3 months to probably ever turn up. It's been a bit of a... Yeah. How did you find us? Yeah, I'm curious how you found us because we are more the veteran people, the people that suffer through the quiet times. Yeah. Yeah, that we don't see a lot of new people, but welcome all the same. It's good to see you.
Clearly, he's one of those people who...
he found us through Paul. He found us through Astro, so that explains a lot. Yeah, well, there's a lot of crossover with Paul and Grim and Space Tomato and all those boys that we like to all intermingle. That's for sure.
Yeah, we do.
All right, are we up to? We've got 2 questions left.
We're Rabbit.
That have just come in. Yeah, go for it, Algared.
Rabbit says, in regard to the Squadron 42 premium packs, do you think? Thank you for giving context. Do you think we'll see a digital goods pack for the older backers that just want the bonus items?
Yes, I think. I think
100%. I can see them doing.
I'll make it really simple. They'll let you CC you up, even after the fact. Even if you've brought a copy of the game and then you go to the website and say, "Hey, would you like to upgrade it for the deluxe?" Because they have them on Steam. You can go on Steam as an example, and you can basically buy an upgrade to a game. It's like it'll cost you more than if you brought it all in one hit, but only by $5 or $10.
Yep.
Right. And they'll probably sell those deluxe editions through Steam. I'm not even kidding. And Epic and because I guarantee you they're going to go as wide as they can on the PC. It's money left on the table. The reason why Steam is so popular is not because, well, from a gamer's perspective, it just works really well, right? But that's why it's so popular. But it's because when you put your game out there, even though you're giving 30% of it to Valve, the reach is just so big and vast compared to anything else, because that's what everyone's using. So you're leaving so much money on the table because, okay, well, you can only buy it through CIG's launcher, but how do people on Steam even know about it? Well, if you put an ad up that says, Squadron 42, and it's got a picture of like Mark Hamill and God, I always forget his name.
And John Rhys Davies.
That's not a he. That's not a he. Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill's the big one, Algared. You got to realize Henry Cavill is a big draw card now. He's a massive draw card. He's Superman, and people want him to be Superman again, especially after the last two Superman and Supergirl. Were horseshit. They were terrible. Really, really bad. Let's go back and get him back because he's Superman. There's just no one else that works. Anyway.
Yep.
I
just bring up chat. I am sure that Wakefield is he has Pokemon syndrome.
But you get a photo that has those people in it, and it says Squadron 42. People are gonna go, what the fuck, Gary Oldman? And they start pulling out all the stars. They're gonna click on that and find out what the fuck it is. Yep. You've only got to put their faces on it. That's what the cover art is. The crew of the stand, or the crew of anyone in that game, or the key figures in that game on the box art. That's the box art that I want to see.
Yep.
Because that's what'll sell.
You think that you get the box art with all those stars on it. You go to an event, you run into them. Hey, can you sign the box? So each of the stars could sign the box, and that becomes a massive collector's item.
Well, also, when you tend to go into a collector's item, they do become more clean and professional because they're being brought by someone that already knows what it is. But the standard version of the game is for the normies. So that's the one that has the draw cards on it. But your collector's edition, that can be the Connie one that we've seen in the past. That can be, you know where I'm going, right? And I've actually said before, a new Connie variant to sell along with a collector's edition would be sick. Right?
Yeah, I could see it.
Because the people that buy in on those bigger editions are going to be, let's be honest, the target audience is us. Because we've already brought the game. Most people are just going to buy the game. It's a single player game, and they're going to play the single player game. They don't need no ship. They don't need no skins. And let's be honest, I can think of a game that came out just this week or is about to come out. They did a new version of Black Flag. All the streamers were playing it. Oh, this is amazing. This is awesome. This is the old Black Flag. And then the game comes out, and there's all this cosmetic DLC bullshit for a single player game. Reviews tank. You do not need skins for a single player game. You do not need mechanics that you can pay for to speed up the grind of a single player game. Because two things have happened there. Either it's needlessly grindly, or you're paying to accelerate your own experience.
No.
And which one do you reckon is the more likely one? I'm going to go back to the first one. They've made it needlessly grindy because they want you to give them money, which means they built it in that way, which means they're evil motherfuckers.
Yep.
And it kills the game. It is not a game anymore. It is a paid experience. And people, none of this came up on the streamers because the streamers were not given that edition. They were used. They go, here, look at the game, it's amazing. And then the people brought the game and it was filled with microtransactions. And I know CIG well enough, and you know CIG well enough, and you know who I'm talking about specifically when I say this, they wouldn't let that happen. They would not want that to happen.
No.
100%. And they would want to put forward a really cool experience that you can replayability, multiple choice, and all that. I don't like the best I think you're going to get is something from Squadron that appears in Star Citizen as a collector's item. So you know the flight suits, the Gladius has a special Squadron skin on it that we know you can get through the referral program. Is that the same for the Hornets and the other ships that appear in the game? You see where I'm going, right? So if you can simply take those skins and then reutilize them, that's a free win for them because it's already enabled. It's just going, all right, now that's on that person's account. It's enabled. So it's already done. It's free. It's free work, but you make money off it. So it's low bar. That's it. And that's all I think you need to do.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on. Rabbit says, oh no, that's the one we just did. Last two questions. Last question is from Radium. Radium says, largest player-owned ship, Javelin, 100 star system, down to 5. What is the next original backer statement, Gebra?
Oh, they've broken a few of them. I don't. The other thing, when they said about 5 systems, it's not 5 systems like it was back in the day. You got to remember when that statement was made. There wasn't even proper landing zones. You flew down tunnels. There were guided tunnels to get to a landing zone on a planet, and now you can land anywhere. So you got to realize and they did talk about this when they talked about it in the 1.0 presentation at CitizenCon. The scope has drastically changed. So even if you're getting 5 systems, that would what they were essentially saying is those 5 systems are just as big as in scope as the original 100 systems. So when we do eventually get to 100 systems, that's more like 1,000 systems.
Yep. And I can remember Chris saying 2015, 2016, around that, actually addressing the 100 star systems and 5, and the 5 system, that statement from Chris really developed that line of 5 theory that backers talked about for donkeys. As trying to work out what are the 5 systems. We know it's going to be Hurston because we're already in Hurston. We know it's going to be Pyro because that's the first system they told us we were getting. So where does it go after that? What are the things that what are the other planets? But it wasn't saying that's the only systems we're going to get. It wasn't saying we're only going to have, not going to have 100 systems. Yes, the original pitch was 100 systems at launch. If I remember correctly, but early on, Chris said, "Well, we're not going to be 100 systems at launch. We're going to have 100 systems eventually, but we'll have 5. We'll have a minimum of 5 to start with."
Yeah,
and that's one thing they've stuck to. And as you said, as they've gone on and been able to develop a game and stretch out the game,
you're essentially describing them taking people out of context. Because you can take it from there, but if you don't have all the other context pieces along, you can completely misconstrue it. Look, they broke a promise. Well, you only heard this bit. You haven't heard all the other things that they said along the way. And when you look at it in context, it's like, well, no, it's more, not less.
Yeah, and as you said, you look at the system. You look at, people still say that our systems in Star Citizen are shallow. I think our systems are very deep in terms of the places you can go, the venues, the places, the things you can see and do. The missions might still feel shallow, but in terms of the places and what you can do at those places, there is a great deal of stuff you can do. And I would bet, I would 100% guarantee there's not a single person yet who has been to every single location in the systems we've got.
Oh, no way.
Right?
No way.
I guarantee it.
No way.
There's no one who's been to every single location.
And how well do they know those locations?
Yeah. And explored them and know them and go, yeah.
I reckon the people at CRG, I'd be interested to know the people that actually crafted them. That they wouldn't have been to every single one.
Yep. So if that's the depth we've got in terms of the environment, and I can remember that used to be
Sorry, I just read a comment by Parker. He was talking about that image that we just had up in the C1.
Yep.
He called it the P1.
P1. No, it couldn't have been a P1. That was clearly the efforts of a number 2.
It's the P2. Oh, God. Oh, these jokes just write themselves. Right.
Yeah. I can get on it.
All right, we've got a couple of questions left there. I think we
do
2 questions left, and then we can call it cooked.
Because we just did Radiums. We got one.
I got 1 to go. All right.
Project Gnome says, have I ever said the origin of the name Squadron 42? Does it refer to the number of live watches for the first Wingman's Hangar? No.
I think it's just the thing of the universe. What's it from?
Yep. Live. Yeah, the answer to the question.
What's the movie? What's the movie? That I've never seen? Yeah, that one. Wow.
That's why we have a towel. But it was a kind of a homage to
Hitchhiker's
Guide. That's why the 42 is there.
Yep.
As my understanding goes. So, and that's from way back, and that's why one of the early. If you go back and look at the stretch goals, one of the early ones is a towel. Because you need to take your towel. And one of the first.
I've shown it off. Okay. How's the towel relevant to Hitchhikers? Please explain to me. I didn't know this stuff.
Because the weapon you have, you need to go anywhere with a towel. You don't.
But you whip people with a towel in the Hitchhikers or something, do you?
Something like that. Yep. If you just don't go anywhere without a towel. Don't.
So the galaxy is a giant man's washroom. Okay.
You got to remember, it's a comedy. It's a British comedy. But. Not only do you have a towel as an in-game item to hang on the wall, one of the first merch items they sold was actually a towel. Squadron 42 towel.
Oh.
But don't forget to take your towel. Absolutely.
All right. Well, today we're going to be rating Farasalt for two reasons. He's Australian. He's playing Star Citizen. And apparently he's offended by my swearing. So to make it up to him, we're going to raid into him. Yeah, so he didn't like me very much because I'm a bit uncouth. But that's okay. Tell him I said sorry for swearing when you get over there. Let me type this in. Raid.
See, I didn't recognize him there because he's not wearing a Hawaiian shirt anymore. He's ditch fat motif.
I didn't recognize him because he wasn't wearing a mohawk when he rocked up.
Yeah.
When we saw him last in Sydney. All right. YouTube, say goodbye to Twitch. Twitch, say goodbye to YouTube. We'll be listening in. Have a good one. Bye-bye. And they're off. Let's have a listen in. He's doing clothes designing.
Interesting.
Yep.
Hey, Inforunners, thanks to the Big Old Raid Arena. Welcome to those coming across from Inforunners stream. Execute said I mean, that checks out, honestly. How you doing, Riot? Beep, 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 mother trucker.
Look what he said. He said, Execute said you're a cunt.
Yes. Rude.
He said that checks out. See, I told you.
Right, how are you? Deep Web. How the heck are you doing?
Oh, see, what did I tell you? They're against me. I never said that.
Leo, welcome. Hi. How you doing?
Right, just get me in trouble every single time. All right, Farasalt, enjoy yourself.
Your reputation goes before you.
Yeah, that's just how it goes, isn't it? Yeah. All right, so we've got a couple options for shows this week, don't we? We've got the well, you're definitely gonna see the tier list this week, but for stuff that we'll put in the bag, either the stuff on the Vanguard or the one with Paul, and there was one other one that I've just completely forgotten. But we've got a couple options there, which
and I've just realised we're going to have to do the giveaway for the tooling.
Oh shit! Nah, no, I'll do it now. It's just a giveaway.
Nah, I'll do it next week. When the guys are here.
No, stuff them. Stuff them.
Rude.
Yep. All right. Let me refresh this.
At least I'm on camera saying, "Hey, we should do it with the Twitch guys," you know.
Yeah.
Oh, edit that out.
Yeah, you can. No. It's a live stream, dickhead. I can't edit that out. I would have done, but I can't. Where can I go back to this? Start. No, I don't know where they put the
And that's why you need to do it next week.
No, I'll just do it here. Here we go. I'll just open a new page. Random comp, pick a tool. Have I brought everyone over? I didn't bring everyone over. My bad. Here we go. Right. We'll take the Toolie and we'll put it over here. This is for the Toolie, by the way. And pick a random comment on YouTube. Go to this ad,
Surely.
and we've got Selena Mon 307. Everyone thought there would be an alien miner, but they brought out the most niche thing imaginable. Very nice ship with an amazing execution. I see what you did there. But I doubt there'll be many flying around after a week since snubs are extremely limited as a concept. Yep, 100% agree. I'll give that an upload to Reno myself because I agree with that. And I'll just leave this bang. Apply. No, oh shit. I wrote it all out, didn't I? And then I deleted it. Congratulations. You have won the T-Lu. We, thanks to Sergi, reach out to me via Discord so I can get that sent off to you ASAP.exe. Bang. Right. With that then, I'm gonna do this thing, don't I? Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and thank you to everyone that did an extra mile on Patreon at the end of the video. I often forget to do that. It's not important to me. Is it important to you? You meant to do that at the start of videos.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we should. I don't know.
Maybe we should do it at the start, then we get rid of it and don't have to worry about it. And,
yeah, but I don't like to bother people either. But
no,
anyway,
I know.
Yeah. And let's be honest, everyone that was watching this video has already turned off as soon as I did the Twitch page. So they missed out on the giveaway. Isn't that the best part? So chances are, I get to redraw it again because that guy, that person, Soma, she didn't watch it. She missed it. Sneaky.
Yeah, maybe.
Very sneaky of me, sir, to do that.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see.
Unless they get a notification saying, you got a message.
Yeah. All right. He's been Algared.
He's been Execute, and we're out of here. Take care.
See you, citizens. Have a good week. Bye-bye.